just in case. Anyway, Jade for now planning to upgrade to OBM. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Clint Sustoso, and I'm just gonna ask you guys who here has seen me for the first time ever. No idea who I am, what I do, how long I've been here, Squid Pro coach. Me, beginner. How many people? 82nd time. See you, me. First time from here, class coach. Cool. I think there's a lot of people already who are new here. So just a quick introduction. Second time. Okay, so guys, just a quick introduction. I'm probably going to introduce myself just a little bit. But okay, now I know a lot of some people here. Second time. Me. Okay, so you guys are pretty much new, and it's interesting because I think I'm probably going to be one of the most relatable coaches, I guess, in terms of this journey. Simply because I started off as a freelancer as well, if that makes sense. And I'm going to explain to you guys. I'm gonna get some premise here. So normally my classes go 2 hours max, simply because I talk about so many things. I talk about mindset. I talk about, clarity on how you guys can start getting your first client, second client, turn into a business, building teams. So before I start, rambling on, I just want to get clear on everyone who really doesn't know me and what to expect from me as a coach. And fun fact, Bisaya ko, right? I don't know if you guys can understand Cebuano, but just for the sake for everyone else, I know there's students from around the Philippines. I don't know if there's the world though, but I know that there are students around the Philippines. Yes, I'm from Cebu. I'm from the Philippines. I'm in Cebu. I'm Cebuano, but I don't really know how to speak Tagalog like really, fluently. I'm more of a English, simply because I want everyone here to understand. Okay, so before I start even talking about how to get into this, how to become really extremely profitable as a freelancer. Hey man, Mary Ann from Jensen. My question here is it okay for everyone if I just stick with English? Can you drop down a yes if that's okay for you guys and you understand the things that I'm talking about? Cool. Yes. All right, cool. So the thing about, just as a quick premise, guys, I understand Tagalog. Okay, I understand Bisaya as well. Those are the only Philippine dialects I understand. I kind of understand Ilonggo, probably 20%. I don't really understand Ilonggo, but I'd rather communicate in English. Cool. So, all right, how do I explain myself? So let's start with, there's a lot of newbies here who probably met me for the first time in my classes for the first time. So I'm going to get some premise here and introducing who I am, how I got here, and what I do. Cool. Now, before I continue, is my voice clear? I hope it's clear. I know you guys can hear me and it's probably clear. But, okay. Guys, to introduce myself, right now, who am I? I'm going to set the premise. Who I am, where I am right now, and then a little bit of background story. Yeah. So right now I'm the global copy chief and the director of the Philippine team of 8-figure closers. It's an 7-figure a year marketing and sales agency in Australia. So essentially, I'm moved away already from becoming a freelancer, and I'm now a business owner. So essentially what's going on right now is I have a full-scale marketing and sales, and I wouldn't call outsourcing, it's still kind of like outsourcing, but it's marketing, sales, and appointment setting team member outsourcing agency in Australia. So we work with 7 and 8, but 7 to 8, 6, 7, and 8-figure a year businesses. And by figure, I mean digits. Right? So does that make sense for everyone? So if I'm saying 5 figures, I'm talking about 5 digits. If I'm talking about 6 figures, I'm talking about 6 digits. And when I'm saying figures, I'm not talking about Philippine pesos. I'm talking about US dollars. There's always a standard within everything. So just for the sake of clarity here, If I say six figures, that's anywhere from 100,000 to 999,999, right? Because it's six digits. Millionaire, seven figures, it's 1 million to 9,900,000. You guys get it, right? And then if it's billion, I don't know how many. Anyway, you guys get that. So essentially, we are a seven-figure a year marketing agency. So essentially, our agency makes seven figures in rev a year. We work with 6, 7, and 8-figure a year business owners around the world. So our clients go from fitness trainers to business coaches to influential world-class speakers. We work with Joel Brown, the founder of the #1 motivational website in the world, Addicted to Success. We also work with Jason Stone, millionaire mentor, 6-point-something million followers on Instagram. We promoted the Push Peak Summit in Australia as well with Sasha Karabot and the Wolf of Wall Street. We've worked with him personally. And by Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm talking about Jordan Belfort, like the real Wolf of Wall Street. So if you guys have watched the Wolf of Wall Street, I haven't met him in person, but I've hopped on Zoom calls with him. Extremely smart guy. But so we promoted this event. Who else would you guys know? So essentially Joel Brown, he's connected with one of the biggest people in the planet in terms of, he's connected with Tony Robbins. If you know Tony Robbins, he's also connected with the Dalai Lama, Simon Sinek, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you guys are entrepreneurial, Grant Cardone, the 10X guy, if you guys know these kinds of people, and so many big people in their space. So essentially our agency also, so what does our agency do, right? So essentially we help our clients scale their businesses online in terms of online marketing, copywriting, Instagram, Facebook ads, advertising, and of course, building our clients' teams. And we even do business development for our clients as well. So some of our clients where we love our work, or also we integrate very seamlessly, what ends up happening is we kind of partner with them, because we kind of like take too much equity. We take too much commissions, so they decide to give us equity instead. So, and they like working with us. So what ends up happening, guys, is we have clients that end up becoming our business partners, right? For example, Joel Brown became our business partner. Right now, Andy Jin and Ben Coulter, two fitness trainers in Australia, also become our business partners as well. And so what we do is we launch events, and then since we can't launch events in actual venues right now because of the coronavirus, what we're doing right now is we're launching online events, right? So we're launching online events, we're promoting it around the world, and the speakers are pretty legit as well. Right now we're promoting Addicted to Fitness, which is in partnership with Addicted to Success. And we have speakers from Body Science, Men's Health Magazine, fitness trainers who have been, featured in GQ magazines and Women's Health Magazine, and, big people. But, I think you guys get the point, right? So if you guys can catch up, dumb down, what we do is we help online businesses scale their businesses online. But we only work with 6, 7, and 8-figure let's see. Give me a second, guys. Right, clients, business, and whatnot. So that's what I did right now. So basically right now I'm a business owner or an agency owner right now, and I'm scaling my team here in the Philippines. So there are, give me a second. Yeah. So one of my business partners as well, I think is probably going to speak as well. But essentially, I'm probably going to bring him in to chime in before I even start the class. But essentially, how did my story go? So I started. I'm in Cebu right now, but I'm not from Cebu. I came from this little town known as Valencia City. It's in Bukidnon. And if you don't know where Bukidnon is, that is in Region 10, that is in Mindanao. So Long story short, I had no friends, no connections, no people who brought me into this space. I was just a random kid who just wanted to make money online, who got jealous of people who made money on Instagram just with nothing but their laptops and their phones, while I see so many people work their ass off for 8 to 12 hours every single day, making 10 times less than how much than people who are working on the online space, right? So what ended up happening was, long story short, I got into the rabbit hole of investing into a course online of how to make money writing emails for clients. Are you guys still following? Long story short, I had to know how to sign clients in the online space around the world, right? And because of that, the network just really expanded. So what I would call myself from that point forward to becoming signing clients is what you call as a freelancer, right? So freelancing is essentially like you doing services for people, but online, right? So for example, you want to design people's stuff, design website, develop their website development, social media management, so there's so many different kinds of services that you guys do as an independent person, I don't know if you guys know these terms, but as a contractor. Does that make sense for you guys? So in exchange for your services, people pay you. Are you guys following me? And so essentially, there's a lot of why people are starting to realize that the online space, and I believe that the Philippines is one of the most behind and clueless countries where so many people are illiterate of what's going on in the online space, just honest speaking, because when people ask me what I do, I'm a copywriter, and they're like, what is a copywriter? Right? That's already enough proof that so many people are clueless of what we do and how we make money, right? And so, give me a second. Right, and so essentially, I started from absolutely scratch. But the fact that I'm here is that it is possible to go from absolutely scratch to now working with 16 clients. All right. Now working with 16 clients, getting connected with one of the biggest people, in the industry. And so the funny thing as well is that what do I do? Okay, what do I do as a coach, and how can I help you make more money, sign more clients, and become more stable as a freelancer, right? Because at the end of the day, you guys are coming in here. I don't know if you've made money. Okay, so I'm quite curious. Who here has made money online before, whatever it is? Maybe it's selling something on Instagram. Maybe it's on a service that you have. Maybe you had a client before. I'm curious, has anyone here made any money online before? No, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that all 4 out of everyone? 5, 6, 7, 8. How many? 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Is that all? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Really? 19. Okay. Is that all? 20. Okay, so it's a lot of people who are actually making money. 20, 21. That's it? 21 counting? 22? Is that it? Out of 131 people, 23. Okay. Is that it? 23? Soon, exactly. Yes, soon. Is this it? 23? Okay, so I'm just gonna make that 23, or is there people here shy? So out of 132 people in this room, only 31 people actually really made money. And here's the thing, when I got into the online space, this wasn't real. I couldn't really believe that I can make money until I actually made money, right? And so in my story, I had been through so many, give me a second. Choose AirPods. Quick. All right. Yeah. All right. So what ended up happening was I couldn't really believe that I could really make money online until I actually get paid, right? And for so many people of you here who have not yet made money, this is also going to be something so new for you guys, and you probably believe that it is possible to make money, but you probably you're not sold yet that you can really make money, that you yourself that it's really possible for someone else to actually pay you money. Does anybody here feel that way? Where you probably believe other people, making money in the online space is possible, but because you really haven't made any money yet in this online space, you guys really don't believe it. Anybody here who feels that way, or not really? If you guys feel that way, comment down the chat. If you comment down the word "me" in that chat, if that's how you guys feel. Okay, right. I have a question here. Right. So, cool. Now I'm gonna introduce someone right here who is now in Philippine peso making around 5.6 million pesos a month. And 1 year ago, he was absolutely broke and he got laid off his job, right? He's my business partner as well in the agency. And some people already know him. Some people don't know him. But essentially, he is also my business partner in Australia right now who is serving world-class clients. So he's worked directly with the Wolf of Wall Street, with one of the biggest people in the world. And since you guys are absolutely beginners here and you guys have no idea how your journey looks like as a freelancer, signing your first 1 client, then 3 clients and 10 clients, and how to scale from there, what I'm going to get to do is I'm going to get one of my business partners to chime in. His name is Ray Pang, and he's one of the sharpest people that I know, a crazy business owner. And I just wanted to chime in and actually share the strategies or his story and whatever he feels is relevant for you guys on how you can start having the correct mindset and the correct approach, that you don't fall off the rail, and actually make sure that you have a step-by-step process or framework or even journey to follow to make sure that you guys actually do sign your first client and then turn that 1 client into 3, and then actually turn that 3 clients into 10, and then decide if whether you want to start just keep doing what you're doing or transition to become an agency owner. Because fun fact, guys, in the agency since February, March of 2020, we have made more and more and more money in this month than the month before, if that makes sense. So on March, we made more money than Feb. On April, we made more than in April, we made more money in April than March, and we made more money than in May than March. And it's still true today. And one of the biggest reasons why we're able to do that is because of the guy who is about to speak right now. And he's also gonna get you the exact framework of how he probably went from absolutely 0 clients, 0 money, 0 connections to going to 500,000 pesos per month in less than 1 month. And I'm probably gonna get Ray to chime in, and I'm gonna unmute him. Cool, so Ray, you there?
Yep, what's up? Hey guys, how's it going?
All right.
I see every one of you guys, and some of you guys I've actually seen before on this call. I see Mike. Hey Mike, how's it going? Who else is here? See all the camera. Imelda, I see Imelda. What's up? Who else? Yeah, I know Jet. Thanks for the support on my Instagram post. I love it. Who else is here? Yeah, the rest of you guys, pretty new. And yeah, all right. Yeah, thanks for the intro, Clint. Essentially, just to give you guys a little bit of backstory as to who I am and what I'm currently doing. So I'm 25 years old. I recently graduated uni less than 2 years ago. My first job was in a startup company, and I was basically their first employee. So I was working in a 9-to-5 job, making fresh graduate salary. I'm not sure what's the Philippines conversion rate, but back in my 9-to-5, I was making about 5K AUD per month. So I'm not sure what's that in Philippine conversion rate, but it wasn't a lot, right? It wasn't a lot. So what happened essentially was, as a lot of you guys know, working for someone else, what happened is the company faced financial issues. And once they faced financial issues, since I was the fresh graduate, I was made redundant, which means my services were no longer required. And they were like, Ray, we don't need your services anymore. Yeah, please essentially go, right? Get out of the company. And the thing is, I'm not Australian. I'm actually I'm originally from Singapore. So I came to Australia for further studies before essentially securing my full-time job. So being a foreign resident in a foreign country with no fucking job, that was a scary period for me. But what essentially happened was I decided to never, place my fate at the mercy of an employer ever again. And I decided that, I took this as a trigger. I took this as a trigger to start really dominating my own path, paving my own way, and decided to start my own business, regardless of the situation that I was in. And because I had no money back then, the fire was really burning inside of me to actually do something for myself, because I need to make money and I had to make my situation work. So what ended up happening was I invested my last few savings, about 3,000 USD. I invested my last few savings into a business mentor to essentially show me how to operate in the online space. And of course, I took massive action. All right, I took massive action. So I went from 0 to 10K in 1 month. And now I'm making more than 100K a month with regards to my businesses, and scaling our businesses to multiple seven figures in the coming months to come. So, and that has only been 12 months. So I'm really, really excited to see what the future has to hold. And for every single one of you guys, use my story as an example that anything is possible. I was a college failure. I was made redundant from my 9-to-5 job. And right now I'm running multiple businesses, making $100,000 a month. So anything is possible, guys, as long as you set your mind to it, as long as you guys have a confidence in yourself to achieve what you want for your life. In the end, to be honest, all you need to do is take massive action that aligns with who you are and what you want to be doing. And things will just happen for you. All right. So really, do not be afraid to try. Do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to put yourself out there. And I know some of you guys are wanting to start your own business, getting into this freelance world. I really, really admire every single one of you guys who are trying that, because it is not easy to go against the system and say, hey, I want to do something for myself. All right. So keep going at it. And as long as you put in the massive action, you keep elevating your skill sets, keep improving yourself, you will see results. All right. The only reason why I'm able to be at where I am today is because I've failed more times than anyone else. I've tried more times than anyone else, simply because I dare to do it. I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of failure, because rejection and failure is simply learning from experience. It's simply a learning curve for me. I think that's the most important thing. All right. Do not be afraid to fail. Embrace failure. Every single failure you have is another step towards success. If you're not failing, it means you're doing something wrong because you're comfortable. All right. That's very, very important. All right. If you guys want to ask me any questions, feel free to do so. Or if you guys have any topics you want me to cover, perhaps I can do that for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Clint, feel free to essentially guide the call and see how I can provide the most value to everyone here. Because to be honest, you guys being here already show commitment to yourselves, right? You guys are investing in yourself. That's very rare. Majority of the people in the world are operating from a place of scarcity and desperation, but you guys are operating from a place of growth and abundance, which I absolutely love. So Clint, feel free to chime in.
All right, guys. One of the biggest things that allowed me to go from absolutely zero to where I'm right now is just pretty much just asking the right people. And this is your time to start asking the right people if you do want to become successful in the online space. I know a lot of people here have probably gone to the Quick Pro simply because you've seen how unreliable it is to actually just rely on one source of income, or just like have one job, and now you know that probably money follows value. And Ray and I started exactly where you guys are at. We started as absolutely zero, from becoming freelancers to becoming agency owners. Now, Ray is an extremely busy dude, and he's only going to be here for the next 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions on like how you can actually get how any questions regarding signing clients, what you should be focusing, how to make money online, what's it like to become a business owner, any kind of thing that you can ask, feel free to ask. If you also want to be unmuted as well, because you want to voice out any questions or concerns or struggles that you actually have, feel free to do so as well. So take note, a TikTok, if anyone wants to ask someone who went from absolute zero to 500,000 per month in just 30 in less than a month, just having his own systems and processes in the online space with nothing but just his skills, okay, with nothing but just his skills, Ray is probably a great a guy to actually, I would agree. I wouldn't really agree. I wouldn't, that wouldn't be a stupid decision to start asking Ray for advice. So yeah, quick question. Is anyone here looking to take advantage of anything that you need from Ray, from a guy like that? Any questions you have will be welcome. Nobody's gonna ask some questions. Okay, we got here a question. So coach, I don't know any skills I am good at as of today, but I am curious, how long did it take you to be that excellent with that skills? Cool, Ray, feel free to chime in.
Good question, Jessica. So the first thing you mentioned, coach, I don't know any skills I'm good at as of today. So the first thing I want you to do is start uncovering what are some of the skills that you are good at as of today. That's the most important thing. Okay, one of the key factors as to why I am able to grow as fast as I did was because I fully understand my strengths, and I optimally leverage every single one of my strengths. So that's essentially what I did. I understood my strengths. I know exactly what I can provide to the market, and I completely leveraged it. So the first thing, Jessica, what you want to be doing is taking a look at your internal network. See what are people saying about you. What are the good stuff they're saying about you. Could be you're awesome at communicating. Could be you're awesome at connecting people. Could be you're awesome at graphic design, whatever it is. So start taking a look at your internal network and start understanding what are some of the skill sets that you're good at that you can possibly monetize. So that's the first important thing. All right. And the second question, I'm curious, how long did it take you to be that excellent with that skill? That is a very interesting question. I do not have a time frame on it because I do not think I'm excellent with my skill yet. I'm still learning. I'm still improving. So I wouldn't say that I'm excellent with that skill. I can always keep growing. But to answer your question on a deeper level, how do I even acquire those skills without even knowing what those skills are at the moment? Essentially, what I did was based on what the market, that's the thing, like based on what the market wants, I decided that this is something that the market need. I took a look at what are some of the best practice examples in the space, and I studied them. I analyzed them. Why? That's the thing, guys. Success leaves clues. If you have a marketing promotion that you particularly like, understand why. Go through their funnel. Go through their ad. Go through why they have done this well, so that you can reverse engineer exactly how they did that and then implement those processes for yourself. That's the first thing I did. Right? I had no money to really invest in any more mentorship. So the first thing I did was just almost like a copy paste. Take a look at what's working, copy, paste into a swipe file of myself, of my own, case study deck of my own, and then studied exactly why did this work with regards to what they're putting out there. So that's the first thing. Does that answer your question a little bit, Jessica? Wherever you are?
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah. Feel free to put a yes in the chat.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Let's chime in the second question that, we'll see. I'm gonna save
choose the best questions. You can choose the best questions.
Yep. How do you start with facet? The question, what are the signs I need to look for? I'm an influence in my industry in Philippines, kitty party too. Here's an interesting one. I want to start my online business. Okay. I'm an influencer in my industry here in the Philippines. I'm a kiddie party entertainer. How can I start to build it online?
Cool. That's interesting. Can you clarify if I pronounce your name wrong? Pardon me. Mike Za. Am I right? Can you clarify what do you actually mean by kiddie party entertainer?
I think what she does is like their kids party, and she entertains the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So how can you start building it online? So the first thing is based on what I'm seeing here, you already have clients, right? You already have existing clients. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Mike Zah? Yeah. So you already have got existing clients. So that is actually a really good start for you. Wait, let me go back to the question. Yeah, so it's a really good start for you. So what you want to be doing is getting back to those existing clients and getting a case study or testimonial from them as to what makes you, why are they happy with your services as a kiddie party entertainer, right? Ask them, right? Why, what benefit do I bring to your parties? Why, are there any things that I do that essentially makes me different from the rest of the kiddie party entertainers? and then get them to record maybe a quick 15-second testimonial about how awesome you are at what you do. And then use that. What you want to be doing then is start using those testimonials and building out almost like a social media presence based on where you're at. So what do I mean by that, right? So now that you have those testimonials, meaning that you have done amazing work in the past, now it's on you to put yourself out there, to showcase your work, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. Start putting yourself out there, all right? And then what you want to be doing is start entering yourself into communities that you know require people like that. So how do you know what communities to go into? Take a look at what's happening with your existing client base. Every single market research that you can do to help you grow, it starts from your existing clients, right? So that's essentially what you can do to help build your social media presence and build exposure. On the flip side, because you've got existing clients, what you can do is you can ask them, do you know of anyone else who require my services as well? This will help you grow your client base even further. And then you start building almost like a referral network of people referring you to the networks, right? So this is how you can do it. And then with all these case studies, all these testimonials, then when you build your social media presence, it's going to be so much easier because you've got all these parties that you're attending, these parties that you're working for, showcasing that online. You start attracting the right people who want to hire you as a kiddie party entertainer because of what you're doing amazing in the space. So from what I'm seeing as a kiddie party entertainer, based on what people particularly enjoy, some of the needs that you particularly solve, you want to showcase that on your social media. So for example, if an aspect of kiddie party entertainer is ensuring that the kids are extremely happy, then the pictures that you're posting on social media, the content that you're posting on social media should really showcase kids being happy, doing like a video, doing like a picture, so that whenever someone who requires the services come across a social media profile, that's the first thing they see and that's the first thing they want to jump on, as compared to jumping on someone else's, because your profile and your presence is so much more different and unique than everyone else's. Does that make sense, Magza?
Mm.
All right. Yeah. So this is essentially a very brief strategy.
Okay, I
All right.
think I got one question for you, Ray. This is the last
Yep.
question that you can chime in on. And I think it's one of the biggest things that people don't are very interested on. And so Maria Teresa Valdez asked it. So hi coach. Um okay, it's very similar. Three people ask something similar, but it's like, how hey coach, how will you sell or bid your skills to a client if you don't have yet any experience in the online space?
That's a very, very good question.
Yeah.
So the first thing is you need to be confident in your skill set. Before you can sell or bid your skills to a client, you have to be very confident in your skill set. All right. So that stems from essentially what you've been doing to elevate the skill set. Because with confidence, if you know you're good at what you do, then you will have no fear selling or bidding your skills to a potential client. It becomes almost like a yes or no, but you know you're good at what you do. But having said that, now that you have the confidence, you know exactly that you know that your skill set can really help the client and you know that you're good at what you do. Then when you approach someone, all right, when you approach someone or potential client, putting yourself out there. So what you can do, you can essentially tell them this, all right? So you jump them on the call or you're messaging them or anything. What you want to be doing is essentially, when you do not have experience on the online space, meaning that you do not have case studies or testimonials to showcase your work, then what you need to be doing is selling yourself. All right? Because you have no case studies, you have no testimonials, then you need to be selling yourself. All right? More than what you're selling for the service. And what do I mean by that? So when you sell yourself while selling your service, it's simply like, what you need to do as a service provider is you have the responsibility to communicate the value of what you can bring to the table as best as you can first. All right. So what you want to be doing is identifying what exactly do the potential client need. So identify that and determine whether the skill set you have matches those needs. If just the skill set you have matches those needs, then what you want to be doing is communicating as best as you can the insane value you're able to bring to the table to help them resolve those needs. And to do that, to make it very, very clear, you want to break it down into almost like a game plan of sorts, a step-by-step deliverables of what you can bring to the table to resolve their needs. So this cements this in a way satisfies the logical reasoning as to why they should hire you. All right. When you sell someone, when you close someone, you need to satisfy the logical and the emotional reasoning. So if you can communicate the deliverables effectively, you are already satisfying the logical reasoning, because they see you, they'll be like, oh, this person knows exactly what he's doing. He's giving me a step-by-step game plan as to what his deliverables are and what he can, and the solutions they can bring to the table to resolve my need. This makes sense to me. This totally makes sense to me. And then the moment it makes sense to them, that is when you want to satisfy the emotional reasoning. A lot of the times, a lot of people say we want to focus on emotional first. But what I found as a service provider, because you're talking to very intelligent people, business owners, clients, people who are owning businesses, people who are looking at service providers, you want to satisfy their logical reasoning first so that they don't think you're bullshitting them before you go into the emotional part. Because at least it lowers their resistance, because in their mind, they're like, this makes sense for my business. Because as business owners, we tend to put our emotional reasoning aside and we focus more on our ROI, our logical stuff, what value can we get to our business first before we think about the emotional stuff. So once you can communicate the deliverables effectively, you shift into the emotional reasoning. So this is when you tell them, if they have an objection, usually if it makes sense to them, they wouldn't even ask for any case studies or testimonials. You're like, cool, this makes sense to me, let's go. I'm willing to invest, I can see the ROI. But there will be cases where business owners will be like, oh, have you worked with other people in the past? All right. So there are different factors with regards to why they will ask. The first thing could be because there's not enough certainty when you're communicating the deliverables. That's why they sense that uncertainty and they ask whether you have any case studies or testimonials. That's the first thing. The second thing could be simply because they just want to know whether what you have done in the past. It could be because of this, they've been like lied to in the past, they've been scammed in the past, and that is not on you, that is because of their circumstances, and it's fine. All right. So satisfy the emotional reasoning. So what you can do with regards to that is communicate this. All right. Say, it totally makes sense that you want to essentially take a look at my testimonials and case studies. Unfortunately, be very honest, right? Unfortunately, this is where integrity comes in, when you're being very honest with yourself. Because if you have communicated the deliverables effectively and you're being honest, and the client does not want to sign you no matter what, it just means that the client is a skeptical client and it's going to be a headache working for them anyway. But if they're willing to give you a chance, so for example, if you're honest, you say, unfortunately, I have not worked with anyone ever before, but I'm glad that you understand that my deliverables make sense, and that's why it makes sense for your business. But what I can do for you then to make sure that we secure a long-term working relationship is that I'm willing to work for you for 2 weeks for free, just to show you that I can back up whatever I'm saying at the start based on the logical reasoning that I've essentially fulfilled. This shows that you walk the talk. You're not just all talk. You're able to deliver upon the deliverables that you have set out in the first part of the call. So this will be most of the time, like I would say 90% of the time, the client will be like, awesome, let's get started. Because it makes sense to them, right? And it's a no-brainer because you're offering to do it for free. All right. And then usually clients will jump in right off the bat. All right. So that's what you can do. So I'm willing to work for you for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for free. Let me deliver instant results for you. If you're satisfied with the results, let's secure a long-term working relationship, on a long-term paying client relationship in the near future, so that I can keep producing instant results for you. That is how you sell or beat your skills to a client when you do not have any experiences in the online space. All right. And on the flip side, 90% of the time clients will say yes, but do not get discouraged with regards to the 10% who say no. It just simply means that they're not a good fit for you, and you could just move on and learn from that and just move on and focus on clients who want to work with you, because it is a fucking pleasure. If clients want to work with you, it's a pleasure. Mm-hmm. It's an awesome experience. All right. So that's the thing with selling and closing people. It's not about hard selling them. It's about bringing everything you can to the table, communicate as best as you can to the table, and then letting the client decide whether that is right for them or not. But you have already fulfilled your responsibility in communicating all that you can to the client and ensuring that it makes sense for them, both on the logical aspect and an emotional aspect. I hope this makes sense for you guys. Marissa, Maria. Is this helpful?
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Very probably
Mhm.
over delivered. So I'm gonna give you the mic, Ray. Are you still looking to answer one more? Or you know, time or you hop off?
Yeah, I can do a last one, and then I'm gonna hop off.
Cool. I'm gonna get one here. So there's two questions that are probably uh, that I like. One is, can you please share what values and principles you have as a CEO or a business owner which help you scale your business? That's one thing you can answer, or you can choose that between um, which is the last one. Coach, what if you're already comes down to client management, but what if you're already accepted in the job and you're a newbie? Unfortunately, most of these clients want fast results. So these are two questions that you can choose from. Which one do you want? The values or the
How about I touch base on each one? I give you a brief answer for each one, so you guys get value on both questions.
there you go.
So for the first question is, what values do I hold true to myself to scale my business as a business owner? Am I right? I think that's the
Yeah.
first question.
So can you
So
share what values and principles you have as a CEO which help you scale your business online?
yeah, cool. As Clint would know, I have a benchmark of 5 core values that I hold true to myself and I hold true to the agency that essentially every agency, every business that I build. So the 5 core values is essentially is communication, congruence, commitment, confidence, and transparency. All right. So just to give you guys a brief of what communication means, it means effective communication. It means that if there are any things that come up, any issues, challenges, or roadblocks that my team have, they will communicate that effectively to me without fear that I will fire them or give them shit for it. Because we are all on a learning journey. We're all here to grow. I do not criticize people. I help people improve. I help them see their mistakes and grow past it, which is very different from criticizing, saying that you're shit, that you're bad. All right. There is always a reason. If, for example, if someone fucks up, I always say, hey, this is not ideal. You have not done something ideally, but the reason behind that could be because you have done this, and then the solution to help you get past this is this. So this is constructive feedback. It's not like you're shit. Stop doing that. Right. So that's the first thing. Communication is very, very important. Communicating whatever you feel, whatever the team feels, ensuring there's effective communication between both parties, because communication is a two-way channel. I can't be clapping my hands like with one hand anyway, right? So that's the first thing. Second one is congruence. Congruence means whatever you do aligns with whatever you say. You say one thing, you do one thing. You do not say one thing, you do another thing. All right, because this doesn't make sense on a congruence level, on a business level as well. All right, it's almost like you're lying, if that makes sense. So if you say one thing, you do one thing. If you cannot deliver, say you cannot deliver. Do not be afraid to say it, right? Because if you have the confidence to overcome that fear of rejection and say that you can't do this, people will help you out and then you will grow. If you do not say it, if you try to hide behind, you're fearful of saying that you can't do this, then you will never grow because you're always lying to yourself. So that's the second thing. All right. Third, commitment. Very important. When you put your focus in one thing, when you decide to do one thing, you do not give up until there is no other choice. All right. Which means you go all in. You don't go half-heartedly, you don't go half-ass, you go your 110% focus. It's not 50% and then I give up, 30% and then I give up. It's 100%. So every single one of my team members know this. Every single time we do a project, we do a task, we go all in. All right. That's number 3. Number fourth, number fourth is transparency. Transparency ties back into integrity, trust, loyalty, honesty. All right. You guys do not do things behind the agency's back. I do not do things behind your back. Everything I say to you guys is clear and concise. Everything I say to you guys is essentially, even if it's not written in black and white, I stay true to my words. I hold true to my promise. If I say I'm going to give you guys a $2,000 bonus, it's going to happen. I'm not saying it just to inspire you guys and then bullshit you guys afterwards. So that's transparency. All right. And then the final value, which is the benchmark for all these values as to why all these values exist, is confidence. All right. Because confidence breeds certainty. All right. Confidence breeds clarity. With clarity and certainty, anything is achievable because you know exactly what you want, you know exactly what you can do, and you do exactly what you say. So that is confidence. It's not just the woo stuff of, oh, I'm confident in myself. Confidence meaning you know exactly what you want and then you go for it is certainty, which is very, very important. It's conviction. All right. So that's the 5 core values. I hope that helps you guys. All right. So that's the first question. All right. Second question. What's the second question? The final question. Or what if you are already accepted in the job and you're a newbie? Unfortunately, most of these clients want fast results. So this is where you need to lay out the expectations from the start. And it ties back into you understanding what you can deliver upon. What skills do you currently have? Can you deliver results based on the skills you have? If you can't, this ties back to my core values of being honest, transparent, saying, hey, I'm a newbie. This is essentially what I've done in the past. This is the skills that I can bring to the table. And to be honest, I do not feel confident delivering for you. Or I do not feel confident giving you these particular results. But what I can do for you is this instead. So you need to be honest with your clients. Yes, your clients might want fast results. If you can't deliver on those results, be honest about it. Be honest about it. Get them to a place of consensus. All right. Get them to align their expectations with yours. And that comes from you setting the expectations from the start as a service provider. Guys, us as service providers do not feel as though we are servants or slaves to our clients. That's the most important thing. We are not. We are the expert. We are the authority going in to help them on a specific business function in their business. We are the experts, right? We specialize in a particular service that will help their business. So you guys should always be confident going into a service provider and saying, hey, this is what I can do for you, and these are the potential ROI that I can get for you. Does this make sense? Does this align with your business? All right. Most of the time, they will be like, yes, that makes sense, and yes, let's do it. All right, but it comes from you setting the expectations from the start as clearly and as honestly as you can. If you can't do it, you have to be honest. If you can do it, let them know, which is very, very important. And then clients will love you for it because you're honest, you know exactly what you can bring to the table, and I am willing to sign with you because I know exactly what results I can expect to get. You are not bullshitting me, you're not lying to me, you're not trying to get me excited for nothing. You're honest with me, and then you're able to deliver upon the results that you promise you can get. So it comes back to always under promise and over deliver. All right, clients will love you for it. All right, so that's the answer for it. Hope that is helpful for you, MSI. All right. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it from me. Thanks for jumping me on this call, Clint. It's very, very, very inspiring to see 176 people on here. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I love the Philippines. The moment this whole COVID situation opens up, for all of you guys who are already in speaker agency, you guys will know that I'll be flying to the Philippines. We're gonna have a massive fun time. I'm booking out the whole penthouse. We're just gonna party in Cebu. We're gonna explore the islands. I'm just gonna have fun with the team, have fun with Clint, have fun with everyone. Because as you guys know, even though we are hustling so hard as business owners, sometimes it's always good for us to have fun and gather the community, gather the team, and have some team bonding as well. I think it's very, very important. So I will be at Cebu as soon as the international borders open up. So for all of you guys who wanna, just hang out, feel free to hit me up in Cebu when I'm over. If not, appreciate you guys. Love that you guys are, committing to yourself and jumping on this call. Like it's awesome. Like 177 of you guys. I love it. And I love the Filipino culture. So yeah, keep going. Do not give up. And if no one here is cheering for you, I'll be here. All right. And Clint will be here. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks, Clint. And yeah, I'll definitely see some of you guys in the near future.
Yeah. Cool. Great. Thanks for hopping in and chiming in and sharing your value to a lot of people. And yeah, looking forward to probably bringing it in casually, see if you have time as well in the next few classes, but we'll see. But guys, that's
all right.
And
Cheers, guys. Peace.
Peace. Cool. So, ladies and gents, that is Ray. And essentially, the story just came pretty much straightforward. Where Ray was from Singapore, he went to Australia. I'm from the Philippines, still in the Philippines. But the reality of the fact, okay, The reality of the fact is that when you're in the online space, no one really cares about your race, your age, unless you're 3 years old on the Zoom call, then, but of course, you guys know what I mean, right? But essentially, people don't really care about anything else but your skills. And the reality of the fact is like, if you understand this one thing, um, then you'll start to see how proven this business model is. Skills pay bills, and even more than that, right? And so the thing about that is, in the agency, in 8FC or 8 Figure Closers, that's with some of the people that I brought in from Quick Pro, from like Mike, Melda, Jet, and is there any other one? I think they're the 3 people who I brought in. I also got another website developer as well who is now working with us. Thing about this is that nothing really, so it's Jim. The thing about this is that there are people out here who will produce results. And the sad reality is that there are also people here who will not produce results. Okay, who will stay in the same place where they were 3 months ago and 3 months after, even how many times you watch videos and whatnot. Now, the thing about this is that the only thing that's going to differentiate yourself from being or staying in the winning club or becoming a loser and then starting to blame yourself or maybe the circumstances around you is only one word that starts with A, and it's called action, right? It's called taking action. The reality of the fact is that people think that just because they invest in courses, just because they invest in mentorship or something or whatever it is, that they already won. But that's not the reality of the fact. Now, the thing about that is Ray went also to a mentorship program that I did as well. And the reality of the fact is that not everyone produces the same results. Guys, not everyone produces the same results. Now, the thing about that is there are people here who produce insanely incredible results. There are people here who are probably going to sign 1 client or 2 clients or 3 clients in the next 30 days. And there are people who are still not going to do anything with their lives in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, even a year from now, right? And that's the reality of the fact. And the only thing that's going to differentiate you guys from that is the amount of action that you take, right? Because if you want to become a better driver, understand this. If you want to become a better driver, you can't become a better driver watching YouTube videos of how to drive. You have to actually go out there and start driving. No matter how much you suck, you will always suck in the beginning. But you stopping to judge yourself, okay, and expecting way too much in the beginning is the key to confidence, right? And so a lot of people, and I see it all the time, especially when people come to this new space of entrepreneurship, making money online and stuff like that. Most of the beginners don't really understand how much to expect in the beginning and how much, what's going on. And so you see a lot of environment with so many people that are so much ahead of you, right? So it's a new environment and you see people who are so skilled at what they do, so confident in what they do. And then the worst thing you can do is start comparing yourself to them and starting to judge yourself for the progress that you've made, right? And the thing about that, the thing about that, guys, is that no one's hurting you but yourself, right? The first thing that I started to learn, the first thing that I had to learn and unlearn when I was in when I started in this online space was that I had to be okay with failing and then not judging myself for it. Most people, they're only okay with the wins. They feel good about it. But then when they fail, they start hurting themselves, both mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and whatever it is. And that's nothing because that's just you judging yourself. See how when you're trying to fail in something, you're like, maybe this is not for me. Right? That's the first thing that goes on in people's mind. Okay, I failed. I'm not like this guy who has spent 10 years doing this, failed ups and ups and ups again, because right now he's so good. Doesn't sound stupid? Of course it does. But here's the thing. So the thing about that is like and I'm still 21 years old. I've been in this space for not really long. It's like 2 years in entrepreneurship. It's really not that long. In case Ray was even here, even shorter than me, half the time. He's probably in this entrepreneurship in just a year from now. Just like a few days ago, like a week, almost a week ago, he had his 1 year entrepreneurship anniversary, right? And the thing about that is success loves speed. But since we were born, from the moment we were born, we were trained to await permission before we act first. And that is the opposite of what you need to do if you want to become a successful freelancer, if you want to become a successful business owner, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, or whatever you want to do in your life. And so here's the thing. When you were kids, when all of us were kids, we were actually explorers. We were scientists. Why was that? And how do we learn, guys? How do we learn? By touching things, smelling things, tasting things, putting whatever we want into our mouth. Oh, this doesn't taste good, and stuff like that. We touch things, break things apart, climb trees, right? And how do kids learn? By doing things, and then they start seeing what happens after. And then by after seeing what happens after, then that's when they decide, oh, I want to do that again, or I don't want to do that again. Right? See how that, but then most of us live in a generation where we're becoming way too overprotected since we were born by our authority figures. And so what ends happening is like, it's a no, 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 no. Don't try things. Don't try things. Don't be afraid of how other people think about you, right? Don't put yourself out there. Don't make a fool of yourself. Don't make a loud voice. Don't let other people see you. Just keep hiding and just do what everybody else is doing, right? And because of that, you've been probably trained for that for not 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, but for 18 years straight of your life, that it's become part of you and start to believe what other people are doing. And now it's hurting you and you can't even see it because it's something that's ingrained in your subconscious. And now you're scared of failing new things. Then the first thing you try to do something new, you're like, okay, what if I fail? Right? What if I fail? What will my friends think about me? What will my friends think about me if I post something on Facebook? What will my friends think about me if I post something on Instagram? What if my friends think about me if I sell them something or I connect them with something or I put myself out there? Right? Now, the thing about that is, cool, you guys have learned pretty much a bunch of stuff from Ray and I, but the first thing that always sticks with people is I don't give them strategies, I don't give them whatever it is, but I fix them first. Because one of the biggest problems that I started to realize when I was successful for the first 8 months in my entrepreneurship freelancing world wasn't my coaches, wasn't my mentors, wasn't the trainings that I had, but the problem was me. I was restricting myself from growth because I wasn't putting in the time, the work, and stuff like that, because I was judging myself. And more than that, I was scared of failure. And here's the thing, guys. Would you agree that a train that's going at 1 mile per hour is easier to stop than trying to stop a train that's going 100 miles per hour? Would you guys agree? Okay. Now, do you guys agree that a train that's running at 1 mile per hour is easier to stop than a train that's going at 100 miles per hour, right? It's called momentum, right? Now, the thing about this is that if you've been trained to await permission for probably 18, 30, or 40 years of your life, or 50, depending on how old you are now, then you have to put on the handbrakes to that habit harder than people who have been trained, okay, to take action first and then see what happens and then learn from their mistakes, right? Now, here's the good part. You can unlearn and detach that previous self-identity and then put on a new identity. But right now, guys, what's happening is like there's a glass that's full, or a tumbler, or whatever you call it. And the first thing you have to do is you have to start how do you call that, like pouring out the things that you've learned in the past that are not serving you, right? Because I see so many people who are getting into this space, and they're what's going on right now is that they are the ones who are the handbrakes to themselves, to their success, to their growth, right? And the thing about that is like, when it's just so crazy, because you see people Okay, you see people who are succeeding at an incredibly high rate, a fast rate. They're making so much money, connecting so crazy connections in around the world. They're acquiring skills incredibly fast speeds, and you see those people, and you probably feel bad about yourself, right? Because you're like, why are those people so good at what they do? This is probably not for me. See the words that you actually say to yourself when you see successful people. That's the reason why you can't become successful, because your mind right now is becoming the handbrakes. Okay, your mind right now is becoming the handbrakes to your success, and you're not taking things seriously. There are complacent people, and there are people who take things seriously. Complacent people never get anywhere. They're the kind of people. I kind of want it. I kind of so many things, right? And so I see winning habits and mindsets and standards for themselves that people actually have, and it's predictable. You can see someone who's very ambitious, who's not afraid of saying no, to get failures and judgment of other people, and you see that they're the ones who build companies because they're okay with actually having the company bankrupt and starting a new company again. Most people don't have that, right? But maybe you don't wanna, make a new company. Maybe it's just that you want to start traveling around the world. Maybe you just want to pay your bills. Maybe you just want to maybe you just want your family to have an amazing life, right? Whatever it is, right? Whatever you want, okay, whatever you want has a price. I'm not talking about money. Okay, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about how much energy do you have to put in, how much time and hours do you have to put in, how many friends do you have to say no to so that you can spend time working on that thing of which you want. Does that make sense? And it's called sacrifice. For the last year, okay, and even more, 1 year, maybe 1 year, 4 months, I had sacrificed so many things to actually achieve what I want right now. But most people aren't you know aren't able to do that, because it's hard. Guys, you have friends who are texting you who, okay, let's go to like, let's go drink, or let's go to the beach, right? Let's go to whatever it is, let's meet. Stop working yourself. You have to reward yourself, right? And in that moment, you're seeing this boring thing staring at you right in front of you, which is your screen, versus something that's so fun, right? So what you do is you start convincing yourself, oh, okay, probably, I'll just probably do this later. I'll just sleep late, right? I'll just sleep late. I'll just not do this, come back at 9 p.m. And then, right? I'm gonna come back in this 9 p.m. They're my friends. How could I say no? They're my friends. What would they think about me if I say no to them, right? Or what do my family think about them if I say no for them? I gotta make time for everyone, right? No, so I'm just gonna do that excuses and stuff like that. And what's up happening is one day turns into a week turns into a month turns into years. And why are you probably in the same place from where you were 3 months ago, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 8 years ago? Right? Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because before I start, um, give me a second, guys. Um, give me a second. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm gonna so give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna switch audios real quick. Give me just 30 seconds. I'll switch audios real quick to make sure that something's wrong. Give me a second. Can you guys hear me? I'm seeing heads nodding, right? Right. So the thing about, okay, cool. Let's go back. Where was I? What was I talking about? I think it was taking action. Where was I? Get lost. I'm sorry, guys. Party. Good. Okay, so I'm back on track, right? And the thing about that is, right, this is what we call a sacrifice, right? It's sacrifice, but the thing is, you can't sacrifice time if you're not even clear about what you're sacrificing for, right? Well, okay, cool. So the thing about this is like each of you each of you guys here, think about it like this. You guys have an inner genius that's waiting for you. Like imagine the best version of yourself. Like just 2 years from now, just imagine best version of yourself. Somewhere out there in the future, there is a perfect version of yourself. Confident, very goal driven, ambitious, can inspire people, has skill sets, probably built businesses, probably is traveling around the world, XYZ, so many things, owns a very big house, a car, has amazing friends, has amazing business networks, has a team, so many things, right? Or probably is good at, whatever you want to be. Maybe it's so super good at singing, maybe it's super good at like creating videos and stuff like that. Maybe it's whatever it is, right? And that person right now is looking back in the present, hoping that you finally wake up, that your dreams won't just magically fall into your laps until you finally get clear in it and you finally say, hey, I'm finally going to take time to say no to these people that I don't need to keep saying yes to, so that I can keep working on myself, on my skills, on my vision, on what I want or where I will be in the next 3 months or 4 months and 5 months, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months, 12 months from now, right? Now, the thing about that is, before I even start talking about it, this is probably gonna be a pretty long class, but the thing about that is, since most of you guys here are beginners, I want you to get really, really clear on what do you want, because this quick pro stuff, this coaches here, this online things that you guys are learning are just a means. You guys didn't just come here and to just like watch videos or to hop on Zoom calls. Oh, I'm just gonna, get inside this crowd. So I'm just gonna like watch videos and then just because no, right? You guys here probably had a goal in mind, but the difference is how clear and how exciting are your goals really? Are your goals really at, right? Now the thing about that, guys, is that before I started my first journey into entrepreneurship, the things that I really loved, that really changed who I am, is that it's a simple quote. You don't get what you want in life. You don't get what you hate in life. You don't get what you deserve. Okay, listen to me. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you hate. You don't get what you deserve. So what do you get? You get what you tolerate. You get what you tolerate. And the thing about that is there's probably people taking advantage of you right now. Do you deserve it? Probably no. But why is it happening? Because you're tolerating it. Does that make sense? It's because you're tolerating it. Nothing, that's it. It's because you're tolerating it. So what would a person who does not tolerate it do? They cut them off. They do something about it. Right? You probably living, I don't want to say this as like mediocre lives, but when I was living a mediocre life, it was a slap in my face because the mentor just said, why you're living a mediocre life, Clint? It's because it's because you keep hanging out with people who don't have standards for their lives, and you accept that for what's also possible for you, and that's why you're tolerating to live a mediocre life as well, even though you're clearly not happy with the life that you're living. So that was my mentor talking to me. So it was a slap in my face. And so at the end of the day, it was true. I could see it before my eyes happening to everybody. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you deserve, but you get what you tolerate. For example, there are people who actually get promotions that don't deserve what they get. Right? There are people who get promotions that don't deserve like their promotions. There are also people who actually, has been working hard for a company for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, trying to build teams, do everything, but they don't get promoted because they don't have the connections. Do you deserve that? No. What ends up happening is you still get that. Why? Because you're tolerating it. Now, the thing about that is there's two things for you to actually think about. Is there something that you can do about it? Or is there something or is there nothing that you can do about it? Does that make sense? So if there's something to do about it, then you have to do something about it. If you can't do anything about it, then it's not your fault. It's okay. It is what it is, right? Does that make sense? For example, you have a business, then a typhoon just comes, cracks up your business. Well, you don't deserve that, but can you do anything about the typhoon? Unless you're some god or anything, you can't, right? So you probably start from scratch, right? But if you can do something about it, maybe it's just your pride, maybe it's just your ego, maybe it's just you probably not admitting that you're kind of broke for the next 3 months or 4 or 5, 6 months, that you can become ultra successful in months after, then those are things that you have to start thinking about, right? Now, why am I talking to this? Why I'm talking to this about people is that all of the things that you learn here from me, from the other coaches, from videos, YouTube, stuff like that are completely useless. 100% all of them are useless unless you actually put them into action, because it is action that actually only takes you forward every single step of the day. And action is not like, oh, you're gonna have to keep that big thing, that super grand like action that you actually have to do. No, it's just making baby steps one at a time. You don't build a building and then poop, it becomes a building in like one day. No, you build it brick by brick, system by system, and then like one floor at a time, or even not one floor at a time. You take one room at a time, one brick at a time. The next thing you know, you're standing over a skyscraper, right? So there's a lot of newbies here that that don't know what I do. Now, I'm not a life coach by all means. I'm still 21, but these are the principles that I know that helped me, and I help the people who I've seen have become ultra successful at such a young age. From 25 to 30 to 45 to 50 people, they have all the same patterns and they hold these things to themselves. Successful people, okay, become successful in their minds first before they come, and then reality follows. It's not the other way around. Does that make sense, guys? Now, think of it like this. If you want the fire to grow bigger in your life, you don't expect the fire to be bigger first before you add in more wood. And most people are living their lives like that every day. They're waiting for some magic pill or some magic opportunity or some magic person to pull them out or pluck them out of their situation, instead of trying to row their own boats out of their out of the life that they don't like. And so I want you guys to inspire that you can do something. It is possible. There are people who are going from rags to riches, connecting with incredible people. And that's because they just became this jelly thing inside your skull is actually super, super crazily powerful. Whatever you put your mind, whatever this thing put its mind into actually becomes reality, right? Well, of course, I'm not, well, within the realm of reality, of course, I'm not talking about if you start imagining about unicorns, so you just probably get a unicorn. But you guys what I mean. But think about that is this: always focus on action. Whenever I have new information feed back into me, the first thing I think about is like, okay, how do I put this into action? Where will this be relevant into my life? How do I put this into action? Where will this be relevant in my life? I don't just like watch videos that, trainings like this. Okay, cool. Get some my phone as well. Cool. Probably watch from Netflix as well. Okay, training's done. Oh, okay. Now next. Okay, go back to exactly the life that I lived yesterday, right? So I have to keep putting into action. And here's the thing: one of the biggest things that I teach to my team members is the law of inertia, or it's called Newton's law. I don't know if anyone here has probably forgot about this in college. I don't know if it's in college or high school, but it's simple. An object that stays at rest tends to stay at rest, right? Unless you acted upon otherwise. Yep. And an object, here's a good thing. An object that stays in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon otherwise. Here's a big example now. Coach, okay, why are you talking about this through me? Notice how there's some times that you actually promise yourself to do some chores for 15 minutes, but you end up actually doing it for an hour. Maybe you promise yourself to do like one thing and then you actually end up doing it for an hour or two. It's called the law of inertia. Sometimes you get in the zone so really good, you're like in focus mode. I want to get this done, right? You start doing it and you don't want to stop because you already started it, right? The hard part actually is starting it, right? Now, the thing about that is you can apply that in your day-to-day basis. And how you do that is what we call as habits, guys. It's called habits. Once you're able to have like momentum building action-based habits, what ends up happening is your brain's thoughts starts autopiloting on action. It starts autopiloting on growth, starts piloting that, oh, I have to work on myself, right? And this is beautiful because like right now, my team members who I'm working with right now is really starting to see a change within themselves. Not because they keep watching YouTube videos and like, going through these mentorships, stuff like that. It's because they take what they're learning into action. And every single day, they're not judging themselves. They're not comparing themselves from people who are so much more successful than them. They're just okay with where they are, but they're not okay with not making any progress. They're not okay with them not taking action. They're not okay with that because they do not tolerate themselves being in the same place than they were yesterday. Does that make sense? Now, so aside from this, what are the skill sets? Now, okay, cool, coach. Now we understand. So what's the first step? Okay, so what's the first step to become really successful in this online space? From my experience, it's first getting clear on what kind of life do you want to build around this world? Because money is just one aspect. I have a question for each and every single one of you. If I gave I don't want to say I have that money, but like if I give you $1 million, right? I don't have $1 million, by the way. But let's say I give you $1 million, but you couldn't spend it. Would you get it? No. Oh, really? Yes. Okay, Jessica just probably wants a very big bank account, uh, even though she can't use it. But no, right? So again, what if I gave you $1 million, but you cannot use a single penny? Would you guys want it? No. Exactly. Cool. Let's rephrase it. Let's rephrase it, ladies and gents. What if I gave you $10 million? No, $100 million, but you're gonna die in 1 week. Would you guys do it? Yes. Really? Oh, okay, fine. I mean, you guys have pretty good reasons. No, you can't give it to anyone. Only you can use it. Okay, you can't give it to anyone. You can't donate it, whatever it is. What? Really? Anyway, that is a super interesting thing. People are willing to die for $100 million in 7 days. Okay, that is super interesting. Me personally, no, not gonna happen. But I mean, I don't know what's going on with you guys' lives, but for whoever who said yes, you guys need some help. If you want, if you trade $100 million for 7 days of your life, but you see the fact here, you see what I'm trying to say, right? Why would you not trade $100 million for just 7 days? Because it's so limited. You want to probably live this world and have more experiences and have more memories. And that's really what matters, right? Now, the thing about that is you also don't want $1 million, even $1 million, if you can't use it at the end of the day. So the thing is, money is not the end. It is a means, right? It is a means, but then the amount of happiness it is able to feed back to its owner will depend on the awareness of the owner or the wielder of the money on what really fills their cup. Okay, what really fills their cup? And that's why what we call is you got to have a vision board of what really excites you, because what will excite you is not what necessarily excites other people. And that's why a lot of people have two versions of disappointments. The first version of disappointment is not achieving what you want, or when things don't go the same as planned, right? You're gonna be freaking you're gonna be disappointed, right? You have a goal, didn't reach it, disappointed. The second level of disappointment is even more painful. It's actually achieving what you've worked so hard to achieve, but not getting the feeling that you expected to feel after achieving it. Woo. For example, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Now you're a millionaire, and then like, right? Oh, I want to become a top performer in class, right? I want to show that to the other competition's face that, oh, I want to become really successful. I want to be double like cum laude and stuff like that. I'm not saying you don't have to be that way, okay? But like, then you probably achieve it, and you're like, you didn't get the feeling you thought it actually really, you didn't get the feeling that you thought you'd actually feel after achieving that. And you know what that happened? Why that happens? It's because of one thing and one thing only. It's because you've been chasing the wrong things. And you've been chasing what other people have been telling you to chase. Right? And it sucks. Because a lot of people are chasing money for the wrong things, trying to impress people who they do not like. Isn't it funny? Hate this person, thinks I can't do it. Gonna buy an expensive 30,000 peso shoe, buys Gucci. Yeah, right? Week later, starts to regret the decision. Like, why did I spend 30,000 pesos on this shoe? Right? Probably because, it's not what fills your cup. What if you're a collector of shoes, right? And you just really love it, even if nobody is looking, right? You could be walking in the beach all alone and you'd still feel good about yourself because, oh, I'm wearing Gucci shoes. Da, 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 da. If that's the case, all good, because it's not anyone's happy, but you are, right? Does that make sense? Now, guys, before I start this, the thing about this is, when you gotta design the life that you want first. So that's called your blueprint. Does that make sense? Okay, does that make sense for everyone? You gotta design the blueprint of your life first, and then you follow the things that you need to put in according to that blueprint. Right? So here's the thing about that. There are two types, like, how do you build a house? Do you just randomly just order some bunch of concrete and then bunch of wood and then bunch of steel and just hope for the best it actually becomes the house that you want? No, you probably would hire an architect, someone who's actually designed an amazing house. And then you'd probably get them to see, here's the house that I want. I want it to be modern. Or maybe I want it to become more oriental. Or maybe I want it to become more Chinese looking, or, whatever it is, made of wood, whatever, right? But the thing is, it's so hard to get a house that you'll be happy with if you're not even clear about what kind of house you want. Provided you have the money, though, because when I was a kid, I didn't even get to choose what kind of house I wanted. I was just like, I was born, oh, here's the house that I was living in. But you get the point. You guys get the point, right? First is, life is exactly the same way. You have to design the life that you want. Coach, how do I even design the life that I want? Think about that is like this. There are different areas in life. One is money. Two is relationships with your friends and with your family. Three is your fun and adventure. What excites you? Like, what is something that you want to keep doing? Number four, this one is business and career, right? Your personal goals, right? Number five is romantic relationships. Number six is personal development, right? Number seven is your environment, your immediate environment around you, your immediate surroundings, right? I forgot number eight. I forgot about it. So many. Anyway, the thing about that is, when you did, different people have different values. Okay, different people have different things that excite them. There are people that get excited with business. There are also people who just really love to spend more time with their family. And there are people who just really want to travel more than anything else. There are people that if they could just travel every single day, they'd be like, I'm in heaven, right? There are also people who are like, I just want to spend time with my family, see my kids, see my mom, spend those time, and I'd be happy, right? Or there are people who are like, I love the thrill of closing deals. I love the thrill of working with clients, doing big things, creating business, stuff like that. You see, people have different foundations of what kind of life they want to build. And the thing is, then you want to get clear on what fills your cup. And then you want to create a life around that. Does that make sense? Because once you finally achieve it, then you'll finally be happy because you weren't chasing the wrong things. You'll actually finally say to yourself, yes, I finally made it. This is the life that I want. And things will change for a month and you're still freaking happy because that is exactly what you wanted. Not what other people wanted, but that's exactly what you wanted. That's what you feel, that's what you feel like, what you wanted. Now, as you design that life, what's going on right now is your first step towards actually achieving that life. Now, the next thing, guys, is you want to list them out and you want to be concrete as humanly possible. Losing weight is not a goal. I want to lose 13 pounds in 2 weeks is a goal. The difference there is that it is measurable. Companies cannot make goals. Oh, let's scale. Oh, let's grow. No, they don't do that. Probably in the grand scale, but they always define their goals with measurements, with actual specific things. And the reason why people can't do that is because they're afraid of failing. Because if you say that you're going to lose 14 pounds in 2 weeks and you only lose 12 pounds in 2 weeks, what does that make you? A failure, right? And people are scared of that. But that's so much better than a person who's just like, oh, I want to lose weight, right? So my mentors always said, if you can't measure it, you're just fooling yourself. Okay? And that's so true. And I want you guys to keep measuring something. For example, when you're looking for clients, you want to go for like, I want to reach out to 40 clients today on Instagram or an email and I want to make this many phone calls. I want to reach out to this, and this. I want to spend 3 hours every single day on this and 2 hours every single day on this and then 3 hours every single day on this. And I want to do this, and this. And it's concrete, it's measurable, and it's trackable. That is what will get you to succeed. Then you can actually see the difference and the changes and the improvements within your life in the next few days, weeks, months, and you'll actually see progress. Then someone is probably going to be like, I hope I'm going to be successful in the online space. I'm going to watch YouTube videos, read 700 books, right? No, just go get into work right off the bat. The reality of the fact is everything that I'm saying right now is all useless if you guys don't start putting yourself out there, if you guys don't start connecting with other people in the group, if you guys don't start and then put out yourself and go into Facebook groups. You know how I signed my first client? Someone asked me this. Hey, Coach Clint, how do you sign your first client? By reaching out to 80 people every single day on Instagram and on Facebook. I repeat, by reaching out to not 10, not 5, not 20, but 80, 80, 80. What, right? 80 people every single day on Instagram and Facebook, right? And on email as well. I did not watch 80 videos on how to sign your first clients, right? I just watched one video on how to sign your first client, and then I kept doing it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. 80 people, 10 days, 800 people. 20 days, 160 people, right? But most of you are just not really willing to, put in the hard work for some reason. So I want to be like, I'm not saying this to like make you feel bad. I want you to say to you guys like, okay, wake up, my ladies and gentlemen, Filipinos, we rock, but only if you take action. Okay, so that's what I want to share to each and every single one of you, right? There are people here who wanted to work with the agency, and some of them were like, hey, coach, I want to work with you. I'm your quick browse to it. Replied to them, never replied, now they're out. But there are people who keep following up on me again and 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 again. Oops, why are they in my team right now? Right? You see, most people are all talk, but they can't, support what they talk about with action. And you guys probably wouldn't really like to follow someone who's just all talk but with no action, right? So how do you start believing in yourself again? Don't start big, just start small. little steps, because change is not like boom, then you change. Sometimes it takes a slap in the face in life for us to finally accept the reality of the fact, right? Some of us are just not ready for the truth, and we have to have that pain in our lives to finally accept, okay, I admit I was wrong, or maybe this stuff like that. Maybe start to get new things. But you see, okay, the things about that, guys, is once you design the life that you want, and I want you to do this. Okay, now I know that a lot of people will not get clarity on how do I design the life that I want. Okay, here's how you design the life that you want. Number one, I want you guys to start getting clear on. I want you guys to get clear on this. The 8. I'm gonna share a screen actually. You know what? I want to share a screen. Can you guys see my screen? I hope you guys can see my screen. I think. Can you guys see my screen? Right. Okay. Yes. Right. Give me a second. Okay. So here we are. So 8 pillars. No. 8 key in life. Right. So funny thing, we have what this call as your 8 areas of life. There's a lot of 8 areas of life, but okay, relationships, career and work, financial, health, health was the last part. Contribution is not really one of ours. That's a value, but not an area in life. It's funny that they actually use that as an area, as a area of life. Okay, here's one from Dr. John DiMartini, and I want you guys to write all these areas in your life right now. Okay, this is your. What is this? Let me see. Nah, this is not the one. Trying to find the one that actually is closest to what we do. But no, never mind, scratch it. So, okay, write this somewhere on your notes, on your notebook, whatever it is. Number 1, finance. Okay, number 1, finance. It's just the amount of money. Okay, it's just the amount of money that's coming into you. Okay, finance. Are you guys following me? Okay, when I work with people, I only give them in the beginning is where I give them too much more information. But when my students work with me, it's always action-based stuff. In the next class that I have with my OBM students, we're gonna have sales closing role plays, right? Because I don't believe in information. I believe in actually taking action. So anyway, finance. Second thing, family and friends. Write that down. Okay, family and friends. Now the third thing, are we done? Now the third thing is career, business, and career. Okay, so whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, you're at a job, you're working for McDonald's or whatever it is, that's business and career. Are you guys following me? Now the next thing is fun and adventure. So what is fun and adventure, coach? Oh, maybe it's traveling. Maybe it's music, what's fun for you? Maybe it's playing sports, whatever that is. Okay, so that's fun and adventure. Now the next part of that is personal development. Okay, personal development. That's you working on yourself, on your mindset, on your confidence, on you elevating your skills, your communication skills, your business skills, your people skills, and your whatever spirituality, stuff like that, right? So personal development. Then the next thing is romantic relationships, right? Whether it's having a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or being in a relationship, married. Yeah. Now, what was that? The next, very important, it's called health. Okay, it's called health. Do you wanna, guys? Do you wanna? Okay, so I have an interesting question again, guys. What if you'd live for 500 years, but every day you'd be sick? Every day you'd be sick. Do you wanna guys do? No? Then take care of yourselves. Sleep early, drink lots of water. Don't eat things that make you feel like shit, like sugar or, junk food or, stuff like that. Coach, but McDo, French fries, so yummy. That's the point, right? But the thing is, if you want to wake up like millionaires or very successful people, I'm not talking money is the success, but you can talk about millionaires, brand owners, people who are, Olympic athletes, wake up, have a really deep sleep, wake up truly refreshed, focused, filled of energy. You got to drop the stupid things you're putting inside your body. Okay. Now, coach, okay, I've written so many things down. I don't know how many things, but I think that's more than enough. How do I design the life that I want? Each of you guys have to keep staring at those values and start looking at what fills your cup, what excites you the most. Right? Okay, thanks for Jet, for having those. It's finance, family and friends, business, fun career, personal development, romantic relationships. So that's 7. I think there's one more. I forgot about it. I forgot about it. Spiritual. Yes, spiritual. No. Yeah, spiritual is part of personal development. So spiritual development, spiritual, that's all that. Whether you're a Buddhist, Christian, you believe in spirits, in stones, whatever you believe in, that's called personal development, right? Yes, the last part is personal environment, right? It's the personal environment. The people who you surround yourself with affect 90, 80 to 90% of where you'll be in the next 30 days to 3 years to 30 years if you're still that young, and probably 30 years if you're probably going to live to 90 years old if you take care of your health very correctly. No. Family and friends, just concerns. Okay, so I love that question. So you and Sarang D, family and friends just involves the level of connection that you have with your family and your friends. How real is your friends? How real is your relationship with your family? Does that make sense? And environment is super different because environment just concerns about what is your immediate surroundings. Does that make sense? Right? Now, you know what's the cool thing? So here's how important environment is. And my coaches and my mentors always have this saying that show me who your friends are and I'll show you your future. You know why? Because you're a fish in a fish tank. The fish tank is your environment. And sometimes when the fish is sick, there's 2 ways to cure the fish. You keep giving the fish medicine every day, again and again and again and again, or you can treat the water. Right? You can just treat the water. Put the fish in a good water where the water is actually good, then boom, the fish, just is, happy. Like there's fishes who live near, oil spills, they're dead. It's because their immediate surroundings are toxic. It's depressing. It's filled with people who are small-minded, right? It's filled with people who are saying that you can't do it. It's for people who keep reminding you of the worst versions of yourself, right? And so what you have to do is that you have to do all that you can to move to an environment that's healthy, that's filled with people who are cheering for you, who are people who know, who want best for you, who are people who actually truly care about your happiness and stuff like that. Right? Now imagine yourself living a life where you have a good environment. You're filled with people who are actually very action taking. people who actually get you to look at your life like, holy shit, I have been doing nothing with my life. So maybe it's time to do something about my life, right? So second, now, aside from environment, the next thing you gotta do is like, everyone has different things that excite them. Everyone that what fills their cup is friends and family. And these things will start shifting at different parts of your life, and that's fine. But right now, you gotta listen to yourself right now. What excites you right now? What is something new that you want to work on right now? Is it business and career? Right? Do you want to be known as an entrepreneur coach? Coaches 100 or 200, 500 people around the world, those kind of stuff. Do you want to become like an entrepreneur who inspires people, who empowers women? Do you want to, whatever you want to be? That's career and business and career. Does that make sense? Right? Now, then you want to keep imagining yourself, what would life be like if from out of no, right? So those are that. Now the next thing is what you guys gonna do. Okay, so pretty much playful is like how I team with my team members. So just leave it be. But what you guys are gonna do is for each aspect or area of your life, you gotta rate them from 1 to 10. Right? Is this 1 over 10? Is this a 2 over 10? Is this a 3 over 10? A 5, a 9, or a 10 over 10? Right? Right? You guys following me? Now you finally have, probably some level, some clarity in your life as well. Now you get some awareness of where your life is at. Right? Everyone following me? Cool? Great. Now the next thing is, how much do I have to keep working in this for me to be truly happy? Does that make sense? Why? Probably it's because fun and adventure. Maybe you don't want to keep travel. Yes, you want to have some fun and adventure, but you don't want to do it every single day of your life, right? So then it gives you some clarity that I'm probably, right now it's still over 10 because I only travel probably once a year because of the coronavirus. So, but I'm okay with it. So it probably just would make me happy to probably 4 over 10. I don't need to work really super hard on this because this is not what fills my cup, right? And now you want to think about your family and friends. Well, just for a fact, there are people who love their families, but don't really need to be with their families every day. Right? There are people who are like, oh, I love my family, but I just want to be with family once a month or twice a month or a week, stuff like that. Some people even kind of have, like toxic families. I mean, you love them, but because they're toxic, you gotta kind of like distance yourself a little bit. So like, okay, hey mom, I'm gonna be with you for 1 month, once a month, or your whatever it is, or your sisters. But it's just a fact. People don't talk about it, but it's a fact. Everyone here doesn't have perfect families. Even me, I don't have a perfect family. No one in the world has a perfect family. Well, there is maybe. I don't know. I haven't met them yet, if there is. But the thing about that is, it's true. And then there are people here who, whatever happens, they just need to keep spending their time with mommy and daddy or in their younger siblings because they miss those and stuff like that, right? Now, you're clear on that. Where are you at right now with your family? Is it like a 1 over 10 because, oh my God, you guys are so toxic to each other. You guys hate each other. And then 10 over 10 is like you guys are ultra supportive of each other. And you have to keep spending, and you guys have to keep spending your time with each other every single day, right? Each have you see how different people are? Don't listen to other people, just listen to yourself. How you imagine them as health bars. How much you have to keep working on those health bars to become really, truly happy. Does that make sense? We good? Now, I think you have some better clarity on your life now, right? Now it's probably not that clear yet now, but you now have some structure of what kind of life you want to design, right? Friends and, friends and family. Then you want to get clear on like, what kind of friends do I want to make? And what kind of friends do I don't want to make? It's easy. Here guys, you are a fish in a big ocean and you have to do all that you can to protect yourself from toxic waters, right? So by all means, do not feel bad if you're cutting out people from your life who don't deserve to, who don't deserve your freaking time. It's just a matter of the fact. Remember this, you don't get what you want in life or what you create in life or what you even deserve. You just get what you tolerate, right? You just get what you tolerate. Cool. Now, let's see. Do we have any questions? I want to scroll up. Don't make your mindset the people. Ooh. I'm isolating myself. Doesn't include, I don't see any questions. Okay. Right. Now, cool. Now, the thing about this is now you're probably going to become just more successful in the online space. And I didn't even talk about strategies yet. Right? So what this here is that the most important part is because, the strategies are cool. They're amazing. They're exciting. Oh, find the first client. Oh, finally, serve some clients with some crazy skills to make some moolah, or, my clients say moolah in the US. It's called money. But long story short, the biggest problem that I've had that I didn't make any progress in the first 7 months in my like entrepreneurship, making money online, is that it's myself that was the problem. I was tolerating myself not doing anything month by month, week by week, month by month, and it almost came to a year until I finally started to see people who are just successfully making money in just 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and that hurt. Because like, why are these people so successful, man? And I'm in this more than a year now, but it only came down to one thing. I didn't need new information. I was investing to high level mentorships. I was investing in $3,000 mentorships and another $2,200 mentorships, right? So the problem was not with the mentorships or with my mentors. The problem was with me. And so these are the things that you guys need to get clear on. Because seeing you guys win means a happier world, right? Hurt people, it sucks when you're with hurt people, because people who are hurt, they're the ones who look down on other people, right? They're the ones who keep judging other people and judging, is that we don't want that, So every single time here, we want to keep working on that. Cool. Now that you have designed that, now I want you to go 100% deeper and concrete on the lives that you want. So you want to put a paragraph definition of what life is like on your ideal aspect, on each aspect of your life. Does that make sense? Right? So for example, if you want a 10 out of 10 in your business and career, that could be like, in 2 years from now, you see specificity. Okay. So in 2 years from now, or maybe a year from now, I want to become a freelancer with 10 clients around the world, making 180,000 or 250,000 per month, with each client paying me 60K, right? That's just revolving around business and career. I am very good at whatever I do. Maybe it could be video editing, maybe it could be whatever it is, but whatever it is, I'm just really freaking good at what I do, right? I have people who look up to me, people who I mentor. I probably have team members as well. And we have a penthouse in Cebu. Kidding. Right? And then I'm going to have team members on the table watching things and webinars together, elevating as a team. Everyone's really inspired and hungry to make more money and more impact traveling around the world. Then in just 2 weeks, and then because we have a lot of money, we're probably gonna ask my friend like, hey, do you want to go to London? Okay, let's get a ticket tomorrow. Right? So you're gonna take it tomorrow to London, and because you get bored in London, what's next? And you go to Sydney, and then you go to Melbourne, and then you want to go to Los Angeles again. Why? Because you can, right? Because you're clear that, oh, I want to make money, but one of the things that I want to fulfill is I want a 10 over 10 on my travel, fun, and adventure. Does that make sense? Right? So fun and adventure, oh, I want that. Okay, cool. So then what's going to happen is, because I'm kind of bored being traveling on my own, and I have pretty much a lot of money, so I'm going to invite my family over as well. I'm going to buy each of them first class tickets on Philippine Airlines from Manila going to Los Angeles, and I'm going to get them, I'm going to have chauffeurs get them, or whatever it is, right? So these are the things that actually pretty much, excite you. Pretty crazy, right? But for some people, they're like, traveling is too, you know, it's so tiring to travel. I just want to be in my home, my cozy home by the side in the beach, right? With 500 Mbps Wi-Fi, and I wake up with some music playing, and probably with a very hot girlfriend or wife, or whatever it is, right? I don't know what you guys want. You guys designed that. But the thing is, the funny thing is, you gotta accept. You have the sad part, but it's not really that sad, is that you have to make money to kind of get that life. Because when you eat, you pay money. When you travel, you have to pay. When you pay for a rent, like a house, you have to pay money. You get a house, you have to make money, right? But at least now you're not just throwing numbers out the butt. I want to make 5 million pesos a year. I want to make 10 million pesos a year, right? You're not just aiming for random numbers out of like how you feel, but it's about a number that will get you the life that you want. Does that make sense, guys? Right? It's a life that you want. Okay? So now that you're clear with that, now you finally can justify the daily grind, the hours that you put into work, the boring days, because these Zoom calls are full of hype, full of other people, right? And you're gonna be like, oh, I feel inspired in this Zoom call and stuff like that. But the real progress is made outside of these stuff, when there's nothing else to do and it's just you and yourself and no one else watching. Will you make excuses or will you take action? Will you make excuses or will you start reaching out to other people? Will you make excuses or will you wait for the next Zoom call from another coach to inspire you again? Right? Remember? The things that took me and Ray to crazy places really wasn't, doing the things when we feel like it. It's doing things because we said so. And that's hard. That's really, really, really hard to do. It's simple, but it's hard. Right? It's very hard to stick to your own words. Yes, it's called commitment. Right? Now, the thing about that is, once you commit to yourself, you're already guaranteed to succeed. Okay? Once you commit to yourself, you don't give up, you're already guaranteed to succeed. I don't care what everybody says, you're guaranteed to succeed. Jeff Bezos, people look at him right now, oh, he's probably the richest man in the world. He's probably so rich, guys, that he's just like, hey, I want to buy a Lamborghini. I want to save up for a Lamborghini. 10 seconds later, it's like, okay, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. I just made enough money to buy a Lamborghini, right? He's probably that rich right now. The thing is, for the first 9, 7, 8, 10, 11 years of his entrepreneurship life, he didn't make any money. He was just in his freaking basement, just grinding and grinding and grinding while everybody else was partying, enjoying their lives and making excuses, right? He was just there grinding and grinding and grinding. But who here actually has that patience to just keep grinding, right? Until you finally produce the results, until you finally sign your first clients, right? So is everybody clear on that? First, list out your the eight areas of life, and then start getting clear on a scale of 1 to 10 how amazing is my life right now, right? Make sense? Cool. Now, on an ideal world, what fills your cup and you build a life around that. Is that cool? Right? Now, become more detailed on that, right? Now, I guarantee you, out of 158 people on this call, that not every single one of you are going to be able to do this. So my challenge is, are you going to be part of the people who actually make excuses and put this later, or are you going to be part of the people who actually commit to doing it immediately after the call? Because it's not about anyone else's life but yours, right? Of course, I have no control. It depends on you, because it is in your action that your life depends on in the next few weeks and months and years, right? Now, are we guys clear on this? Are we guys Gucci? Cool? Everybody still following? Now, so where were we? Now we're done with the live coaching. Now, as you go in tomorrow, you're going to create so before you go in the next class tomorrow, I highly recommend this. You guys have to create a vision board. Coach, what is a vision board? It's your life 3 years from now, 1 year from now, or maybe even 6 months from now. Where would you ideally be want to in a perfect world 6 months from now? And I'm not talking about, hey, coach, I want to be in a beach. That's vague. You're not telling me what beach. Oh, coach, I want a car. Vague. Nah, don't like that. What kind of car? Do you want a Ford Ranger? Okay, cool. What model? What year? How much do you have to pay for it? How much is its monthly payment? How much do you have to put in as down payment? Ooh. Now it's okay. Oh, coach. So now, does that mean that I have to be very specific with my goals? Yes. How specific can I be? As specific as you can. For each area in life, right? So how about, coach, how about for friends and family? Well, I don't know, you tell me. So does that mean if specific, I want to have a relationship with my parents wherein they know that I truly care for them and I'll keep having a call with them and I build my relationship with them and stuff like that. And also going to happen is that I'm going to share with them what's going on with my life and get them to open up, so become transparent with each other. Does that also mean, coach, that, in 3 months from now, it's also about, probably bringing my parents to, a better place, probably taking them around the world, or maybe probably getting them to travel to Tagaytay, or maybe just vegan for now, or maybe just, get them to some movies and treat them because they deserve. Oh, can you go more specific than that? Yes. And I'm going to take them to this restaurant and that restaurant. Da, 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 da. Right? I'm also going to pay for their debts. Now now you're becoming more specific, right? Now, the next thing, health. What is your health? I want to be healthy. No, freaking big. How healthy do you want to be? Oh, coach, I want to become, in the morning, I want to wake up fully recharged and ready to crush the day, right? I'm going to be hyper focused. I'm going to feel good, boundless with energy. I will not have afternoon crashes. I'm going to be so energetic that I'm going to be doing so many things. I'm going to be a pound of energy ball. And I'm never going to be sick again. I want to live a life where I'm never going to be sick. I'm going to have annoying joint pains. I'm going to take care of myself in the morning, probably go for a 30-minute walk, then a 30-minute jog, and just between me and myself, because I know that that I actually do matter. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Now you're actually becoming more serious. I'm also going to eat these kinds of things. Cool? Now, all good, right? Are we all good? Create the 7 areas, and then you just start figuring out which actually fills your cup, right? And then you design the life around that as your blueprint. Now the next thing is, how much does this blueprint cost? Does that make sense? Now you guys have a blueprint of the life that you guys want. For the first time ever, you finally be like, okay, here's the life that I want. Coach, is it really okay for me to dream big? Yes, it is. Actually, you have to. Unless you want to live like all of the other people out there who are all living their lives like chickens with their heads cut off, don't know what they want in life, and they're just okay with it because they are tolerating it. I didn't. So I started to search for things, try new things, right? And you guys get to do this too because you guys actually showed up for yourselves. For where you want to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. You guys wouldn't just be here just watching like, oh, I want to watch some amazing YouTube videos from now. No, you don't. You actually took time out of your day to be here. And that is a win right here, right? But this is a little win, but this is not the entire win. Does that make sense, guys? Right? So this a little win, showing up for no one else but yourself because you do freaking matter. And then actually imagining yourself 3 months, 6 months from now, looking back at the things that you have achieved and the immense level of growth you achieved, and you being so surprised that, okay, I did this. I really acquired this skill. I really signed a client, right? I can now create videos. I can now write copy. I can now develop websites and charge a lot of money. I can finally support my family. I really did buy a car. I really did, pay my parents' debt. Right? So all of that will rely on one thing. What is the one thing? It starts with letter A and it's called action. Right? Now, you guys will not get 100% clear in just 1 hour. So every single day, you're gonna work on your vision board. You can take pictures of the ideal places you want to take your family, and you plug it in a cork board, you plug it in your board, you plug it in some video on your computer screen, and every single day you're gonna look at that. And then every single day you don't feel like taking action because you're making excuses, and you have friends who are trying to distract you from where you want to be in the next 6-7 years from now, or 7 months from now. You're gonna look at your vision board and you're gonna say either you have two decisions. Are you going to do the hustle now and make sure you get closer to that vision board you just put in? Or are you going to put it aside? Right? Does that make sense, guys? Now, this is what gave me a lot of direction in my first year of entrepreneurship. It's just really getting clear on the first target goals that I had. So I was like, oh, I want to make 80,000 pesos per month, 100,000 pesos per month, 120,000 pesos per month. Just getting going up and up and up and up. And thing about that is it's very possible. The thing is, it's not, and I know you guys want to understand this, is that you guys are here to make more money, to have more friends, to have more experiences, to create more memories with your families and your friends or whatever it is, right? You guys wouldn't take proof. You guys wouldn't take, for some, not everyone, but you guys wouldn't take $100 million and just live for 7 days. But there were some people like, oh, YOLO. I mean, I'd still take it, So for you guys, okay, cool. But I would never take that in 100 million years. I'd probably be okay with living in a 9-to-5 job, but still work, but still live probably until I'm 70 ish. But you guys are you, and if you want to have 7 of the most amazing days of your life in this spot, it's all good. But you guys get the point, right? Cool. Now, coach, what do you train people for? I mean, I know you're copywriting and marketing, but I'm probably meeting you for the first time. What do you train people for? Are you the mindset coach of Quick Pro? No, but I know that it's like a big step of all my students, because when I fix the drivers first and I don't fix the car, you're already set up for success. I can give you all the strategies you want on how to get clients and how to, whatever it is, how to make money online, how to work on your skills. But if you don't really fix yourself first or get your shit together, is what my mentors call it, then you're gonna be attending classes after classes, doing nothing, which was me, by the way, in the first 3 or 4 months. So I'm very, 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 how do you say this? Procrastinator, right? I was such a procrastinator. I was a champion at procrastinator. I was a world-class procrastinator in the first 3 or 4 months of my life. And guess what? I was ended up nowhere in the first 3 to 4 months, because I would say later and later and later, right? So let's set some premise. What kind of questions can I help with, right? So there's 4 skills that I actually consider myself, I can add more value to your life. So I have a premise where if you talk to me about this. You have someone who has never built a house before. Would you take advice from them on how to build a house? No? Okay, I'm cool. You have someone who has never driven a car before. Or maybe they've driven a car before, but they suck at it. You want to take driving lessons from them? Oh, I love this class. They're so smart. They're so smart. Wow. right? So then why are you asking unqualified people for advice and directions in your life? Ooh, it's a big slap in my face as well. It's fine. It's okay. I understand. It's probably a big swallow, like so right. I know. But oof, when I heard my coach like that, it's like sometimes just because people care doesn't mean they're qualified. And it's hard to learn that because like you really want to listen for people who care for you, right? You really want to listen for them, like, oh man, like I have a friend who cares for me. But it's like, just stay here, stay here in this, right? I don't want you to fail. Stay here, right? But the thing about that is, you guys, you gotta wake up. If you want to learn, for me, I define advice from people who are not good at what they do as just simple hypocrisy. That's just it. Like, would you really learn from people? Like, would you take advice on how to build a building from a dentist? No, you don't. And you guys just said that, right? You wouldn't take advice from someone driving lessons from someone who suck at driving. So you guys would actually agree that you would take advice on how to drive from someone who's really good at driving. Would you guys agree? Yeah, pretty cool, right? So now that we agree on that, the thing is, you have to apply that as much as you can for everyone, for every single aspect of your life. That's the formula of growth. It's asking the right people. Coach, what is the right people? People who are good at what you want to do. Or people who have been there, done that at what you have to do. Simple. Because there are people out there who will seriously give you business advice. And they don't have any experience in business. They haven't started the business. They haven't done anything in business. And all they've done is just read books and watch videos on how to build businesses, right? Would you take advice from them, or would you take advice from someone who is actually in the trenches, has built businesses, has failed, and has become successful in business, right? I mean, it's pretty much straightforward, right? But the thing is, it's about having more standards for yourself, that, dear God, the wrongful information will not only hold you back, but it will set you back for years. I'm not talking about months. I'm talking about years. It will set you back for years. Okay? So now, I want you guys to keep growing. I want you guys to become successful. I want you guys to come back to me. Hey, coach, thanks for your da-da-da. I'm right now here, finally build a company, and I'm traveling around the world, whatever it is. And that starts from you taking action and also getting expert feedback and advice from people who are good at what you do. You can't take advice from a violin player on how to become good at playing the piano. You guys take advice from a person who is good at playing piano on how to play the piano better. Would you guys agree? You can't take advice from basketball players on how to become a good football player. You take advice from a good football player on how to play football, right? Now, the next thing is, if they're not good at what you want to ask them to do, stop, okay? I know it's like a simple impulse, but the thing is, when people become uncertain or unsure of what they want to do within a certain field, whether it's business, whether it's life, whether it's relationships, they start asking unqualified people. But it's not, okay? But it's not because they really want the advice. It's because they don't want to blame themselves if they actually make the decision. Does that make sense? Right? And that's when we're uncertain. That's when we're unsure. And we're like, it's like there's an opportunity in front of you that's involving business, and you have a friend who has no clue about business, and you ask your friend, what do you think I should do, friend? Do you think I should take advantage of this opportunity or no? Right? And the clueless friend's gonna be like, I don't know, it seems legit. You should do it. Right? It's nuts, right? It's really nuts. But once you guys start applying, simple principles, just as that, you'll start really in like having massive growth. For me, how did I learn copywriting? I just learned from people who have made millions of dollars in copywriting. That's it. How do I learn how to sign clients? I just learned from people who have signed lots and lots of clients, right? Simple. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science to find your mentors. All you really have to do is just pretty much just ask yourself this question. What do I want to do? Or what do I want to learn? And if I ask this person, is he or she living the life that I want? Or is he or she good at what I want to learn? That's the first thing, right? If check, ask them for advice. All means go ahead. For example, if you have entrepreneurial parents who have built businesses, okay, good. Ask them for advice. But dear God, for your sake, for your success sake, the best version of yourself is hoping that you don't take advice from the wrong people. Okay? Don't take advice from the wrong people. Do not. Do it for yourself. Do it for your future. Do it for where you will become in the next few years and months of your life. Do not take advice from the wrong people. Do not take relationship advices from people who are not good in relationships. Do not take family advice from people who have bad families inside what's going on. Right? It's simple. So once you follow these principles, then your life, I assure you, I promise you, I guarantee it, will always be better because you're now looking for advice from the right people. Coach, how do I find the right people in my life? I don't know any of them, right? Well, there's this thing called the internet. You don't necessarily have to ask people in person to get their advice. You just have to go out there and find it. The good thing about the internet right now is you don't really have to send people some direct mails through FedEx or DHL. You can just search anything on Google, start joining Facebook groups, putting yourself out there, right? So joining Facebook groups, it's something becoming more active, writing some notes down, YouTube, so many things. And if it resonates with you, then done. It's simple. You want to get good at real estate? Start looking for people who are good at real estate and start seeing what they're doing. Start listening to their podcasts. Start signing up for email lists and read people's emails, right? So, start watching, so instead of these are things that you guys got to learn because at the end of the day, you got to be taking advices from the qualified people. If you want to become a better copywriter, then look for people who are really good at copy, then do what they're doing. That's pretty much it. If you want to become a good violinist, then, start watching YouTube vlogs or videos or articles on how to become violin written and produced by people who are good violin, right? Does that make sense? Can we all agree on that? Or is there anyone else say, okay, coach, I want to take dental advices from an engineer. I don't care about what you say. I'm going to take dental advices from an engineer because I want to. Right? So if you want to commit to your growth right here and you want to start implementing this in your life, just drop me down a quick yes in the chat that you are going to start taking action to keep working on yourself. Okay? Every single day. That you're not going to take advice from the wrong people now because, dear God, you know that the wrong advice will set you back for years. Right? Now, for everyone here that's saying yes, that is the first step to actually growth. It's called awareness of the problem, okay? And then now doing something about it. Right? And I know so many of you have already been taking action. Some of you are already practicing your skill sets. You've been practicing your copy. You've been practicing website development. You've been practicing social media captions. You're now searching on Google some stuff, but you're not just and for all those people who are doing that, I commend you and I congratulate you. And as I said, each and every single one of you here will go through a new space of operating for growth because you don't have these environments every day. You don't have environments every day. Most people are just okay with, okay with just meh, like living a life like meh. Right? So I don't want that for my life, and I don't want that for you guys' life as well. right? So it is time that, it's finally time, guys, that you finally start waking up, because the earlier you wake up and the earlier you start, the faster you start, the faster you get success, right? Now, before I start getting into the fundamentals of like how to start getting into this space really, really crazily, my next question is, do you guys have any questions? Okay. All questions are welcomed. I know this is probably a mental overload for so many people. Don't worry, guys. My team in 8-figure closers are going to be mentally overloaded 10 times more than you guys are right now. So fire on me. Okay. Coach, do you think a 50-year-old person still has a chance to get hired as a remote worker? My question for you, Elizabeth Ambong, is why not? Okay. So where is Elizabeth? So my question for you, Elizabeth, is why not? Is it clause in a contract where, okay, I'm only going to hire 49 and below? If you're born somewhere in the 19 somethings and then you're 50 years old, I'm never going to be hiring you. Why? Well, because I just said so. Right? So Elizabeth, I'm so happy that you actually said this, because the thing is, clients don't care how old you're. Clients don't even care if you're 70 years old. Yeah, exactly. There is no age limit. Guys, whether you're old or whether you're young, your clients don't care. Your clients don't really care. There's only one thing they care about: your skills. What can you bring to their business? That's it. They don't care about anything else. Right? Age really is just, it's really just a number. It's just a representation of how many years you've been on this planet. That's pretty much it. But the reason why, okay, here's the reason why that is an objection for you. Because you've been probably around friends who have made those excuses. Or, oh, I'm not going to go in the online space. I'm not going to learn how to make money online because I'm old. I'm not going to do that. I'm too old. That's for the young ones, right? And I think that's the biggest thing there. Your friends' words are starting to become yours, right? Probably have a lot of friends who'll be like, oh, I just really have I don't understand technology. Well, funny, it's because technology is the most straightforward thing in the world. I don't know, but like, you send a message, there's a big green button saying send, right? So it's pretty much straightforward. Cool. So let's see if we have some questions going on here. Perhaps there's no questions. No, nothing, right? There's no question. Okay. Coach, I think I need one-on-one for my future business. What is your best advice for me? I'm not sure what do you mean. Like, you need one-on-one coaching for your business? Well, again, apply what I just said. Okay, what kind of business do you want to build? Who are people who already have built the business or a similar business model what you have built, and then just take their advice. Pretty much straightforward. Coach, I'm really confused, Coach, but isn't the last one you mentioned that there's difference among teachers, coaches, and mentors, coaches, and the court may have not? Yes. Okay, so far as so I did a class in the past before in Quick Pro as well, and they're like, there's difference between teachers, right? Teachers, coaches, and mentors, right? And here's the thing. So teachers are people who just regurgitate information that they've learned in books. That's pretty much it. They haven't done anything of what they're trying to teach, and so I don't learn from those people. I don't recommend. Second thing is coaches. This is like my insider definition, by the way. This is not like a grand definition of everything, but just like how I see it. Does that make sense? So don't quote me on this and saying that it's not in the dictionary. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me? So this is not dictionary, but this is like how I see things. Coaches are people who are good at passing down skills they do not have. What? Coach, isn't that the exact opposite of what you just said? Yes. What doesn't make sense? So here's the thing. Coaches have helped other people go through something and successfully help them. So there are coaches who probably helped 10 people to build businesses, and because they've helped that, even though they don't build businesses themselves, we can probably take their advice. But they're not in practice of what they do, right? But they're still in the field because they work directly with the business owners. Well, wait. What do I mean, coach? It means that, football coaches, they don't play football, but they're in the field. Okay, so that makes sense. They don't play football, but they're in the freaking field. They have skill sets to look at the bigger picture view that most people who are in the field cannot do. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's to answer the question. Now, mentors are in current practice of what they're teaching. So for example, the drivers who are driving right now who are teaching other people how to drive, the business owners who are teaching other people how to build businesses. So probably I would consider myself as a copywriting mentor because I'm still writing copy for my clients, and people who go on through my mentorship learn through the mistakes that I made, learn through to see what works for me and how I manage my clients and how I write copy and what goes into my mind when I write copy. Just the same way that I also have copywriting mentors who are also writing copy, and I learn from them because right now they're also writing copy. Does that make sense? So coaches, and the difference between coaches and teachers are like teachers, they're like the furthest down the line on the information, page. All they really do is just regurgitate information they've learned on a book. That's pretty much it. Coaches, and it's funny as well because when you're learning from teachers, you don't understand sometimes that you have to learn it yourself, and you still keep paying them for learning things yourself, which doesn't make sense for me. Coaches, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, are people in the field. It could be managers who are seeing traders trade, right? And then there's finally teaching people, guiding traders how to become successful traders. Those are really cool stuff. Football coaches who don't play football, but they're in the field, they know how things work. Probably business coaches who haven't built a business themselves, but they've been privately and closely working with business owners, seeing how they lead teams, how they go handle operations, and that firsthand experience, seeing the mistakes and things that work, closely studying the business coaches who are in the field is what they can give valuable experience-based feedback of other business owners and pass them down to you. Does that make sense? Those are coaches, in my eyes. But by the way, again, those are not in the dictionary. So if you want to search a dictionary, don't get mad at me. That's just how I define, that's how to define them. Coach, I want to build my brand as freelancer. So coach, I want to brand as freelancer. How will I do it in my post? What do you mean my post? Do I need to create different pages as freelancer and as financial advisor? Okay, so Maravik has a question. Coach, I want to build my brand as a freelancer and as a financial advisor. Are there two different things, or do you want to brand yourself as a freelance and financial advisor? How will I do it in my post? What do you mean post? You gotta be more specific here. Is it like post on Facebook and Instagram or bulletin board? I can't, I can't. So the thing about questions is like, if your questions are vague, my answer is also going to be vague as well. Does that make sense? So, hey, coach, how to become a successful? I don't know. What do you want? What is success to you? So I like specific questions. I'm just really able to help people who are more specific and more in-depth with their questions. Marketing strategies, you mean? Who's Madeline? Marketing strategist is this the girl who asked earlier? I disagree, coach, in what you're telling about teachers. Yeah, cool. You're free to disagree. It's just my own take. I'm not here to argue with people. You're feel free to disagree or agree with me. I'm not here to start an argument. It's just based on like my own little mini definition in my own world. That's how my mentors pass it down to me. And yeah. This will be honest, you know, to Seth. Anyone? Okay. Coach, how many hours were you allotting per day when you were targeting 80K per month? I'm just having a notion it would be possible because I'm a student here. How many hours? As many as it takes. From my experience, it took me like 10 hours a day to get to 80K. And I'm still making, I'm still probably making, when I reach double, I'm still spending 10 hours a day, you know, because in entrepreneurship, guys, it's about you get paid for the results you produce. That's the time you spend, right? So think about that like this. In entrepreneurship, money follows value. For example, if you pay to get a drawing done in the beginning, you take 5 hours to take the drawing done. Sell that drawing for $100, right? But what if you become super good? You take 1 hour to create that drawing and you sell that for $100. And in 5 hours, you make 5 drawings, you sell it for $500. Does the client care about how much time it took you to actually make the project? No, they don't. Right? No, they don't. They just care about it getting done. The faster you get it done at a quality that they need it to be done, you get paid, make more money. Cool. So that's why business owners make money, because they solve problems at scale, right? They change people's lives. And so that's how things, you know, that's how things work. So coach, how many hours? So that's done. Is people copy pasting the questions? Because I see you in copy pasting the cases questions. So I'm just wondering what that is. It's plagiarism, bro. Kidding. So my social media post, coach, this is about honesty. What if when I apply for a job, the HR will ask me if I did also apply to other jobs? Bro, you gotta be honest. You don't want to lie to people like, oh, I took 10 HR jobs before. I was the best HR, you know. You don't want to do that, my bro. So you don't want to do that, Renel, because they'll figure out, and when they figure out, not only will they get mad, you're gonna have a bad time with legalities. So you don't want to do that. So as a freelancer, I apply to other jobs at the same time. But if I would be honest, I would set some drawbacks. Coach, would I still be honest or not? You always be honest, bro. You always be honest. You don't want to lie, bro. No one's gonna trust you. Because if you're not honest, people are gonna be like, who have you coached? Who have you trained before? I worked for Donald Trump. Oh, so as his financial advisor, right? You don't want to do that. Now, the thing about that, guys, is when people are asking about you about past experience, it comes back to what Ray is saying. It's because you're giving them bad vibes. Unless it's corporate, okay? If it's corporate, of course, they have some like, oh, you gotta graduate this. And you gotta have this kind of experience. That's different. But in the freelance world, guys, you don't need those stuff. When I signed my first client, I didn't be like, okay, I had 3 clients in the past. Now, when you sign your first clients, it's about, you know, risk reversal. Number 1, you need to be talking to the right client. Number 2, you need to have the right offer. Does that make sense? Talking to the right client, getting the right offer, and then risk reversal. What do I mean by that? If you're offering what do you guys want to do? How do you guys want to make money? Who here is on website development? Who here is in website development? Let me know. Who here develops websites, does some stuff? Okay, so it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we're getting it. Okay, so a lot of you for website development, the thing is, like, if you're trying to make a better website for a client who's already satisfied with his current website, you guys are not going to make the sale. It's going to be extremely hard for you. Does that make sense? So if you're trying to fix something that's already working for a business, it's going to be very hard for you. It's just really going to be very hard for you, right? It's so hard to sell a car to someone who already has a car, who loves his car. No problems with this car going on. Why would you sell to that person a car? Probably want to sell a car to a person who doesn't have a car or has a car that needs to be replaced. Does that make sense? right? It's not your, so you want to talk to the right person, you want to have the right offer as well. What do you mean the right offer? It means that the problem they have is something that you can help with in solving. Does that make sense? We're gonna talk about this as well in the later days. But cool. What else? Anyone else have any other questions? Coach, paano yung ilalagay sa portfolio if wala ba talagang experience? Now, it depends on what your industry is, right? You don't want to have portfolio of be like, oh, coach, I'm going to lie that I work with this past clients. Here's the thing, guys, website development, would you guys agree that you can create your own websites without clients who actually own them, just to give people a feel of how good you really are at websites? Does that make sense? See, when I'm selling drawings to other people, I don't need to be like, hey, here's 100 people that I drew for in the past before. All you have to do is to give them certainty that you are a good fit for the job, that you can actually, that you are what you actually say you are. So all you have to do is just, you know what? Here's one thing. I'll draw you, okay, for free. If you like it, just pay me. If you don't, it's all yours. Then they see the amazing drawing first, guys. Problem solved. Right? So for website development, guess what? You can create your own websites without a client. They just don't have any owners. That's it. Boom. Done. Right? As a copywriter, guess what? You can show people your copy. Like how good you are with words on emails, on landing pages, and then, oh, person knows what he's doing. Hired, right? You just have to give people certainty. That's pretty much it. But the thing is, you can't sell people if you don't have the skills. Wait, coach, does that mean I have to work on my skills? Yes, you do. That's the thing about entrepreneurship. You don't get paid if you don't produce results. I mean, you still get paid if you're good at sales, but you won't keep them. Does that make sense? Guys, are we agreeing here? That it's just a reality of the fact. Before you start worrying about, coach, how do I sign my first client? What you really should be worrying about, coach, how do I know that I'm ready to sign my first client? That's the question that you have to keep asking yourself for. Coach, how do I know that I'm finally ready to sign my first client? Those are the questions that I love. Because if you're like, hey, coach, how do I sign my first client? Makes me think that you don't care about your client, you just care about the money that's coming into you. They're like, I don't care if I'm going to charge $100 per Instagram post, right? And I'm just going to get them in Google and paste them on Instagram accounts, right? That's not how things work. You got to work on your skill. You got to be proud of yourself first. Seeing like, wow, these are amazing things and I created them. And then you're ready to sign a client. Does that make sense, guys? Everything requires preparation, training. Like, do you know how pilots have to, do you know what pilots have to go through to really be, to, you know, you know what pilots have to go through to make sure that they actually know how to drive a freaking complicated plane? A lot of years and training and simulators and flight instructors, and then working as a first officer, then becoming a captain. The good part of entrepreneurship is that you don't need to, turn years until you're finally ready to start your own business. That's just called perfectionism. What you want to do is start drawing, start creating websites, start connecting with other people, start watching YouTube videos of how to do X, Y, Z, start Googling stuff, right? Start getting inside Facebook groups, start asking other people who are already good at website development, start connecting with them, asking them, giving value, start having your own mini groups on Facebook or Instagram groups, that's pretty much it. That's the formula to success, right? Coach, I'm shy. I'm shy to reach out to new people, right? I'm shy. What if they don't like me, right? So stop worrying about what people think about you. Just please stop. Okay, so I want everyone here to have a commitment. You will not judge anybody in this group, and you will treat everybody in the Quick Pro family as an actual family. And then anyone who actually reaches out to you, you will actually try to help them if you can. If that's you, give me a yes on the quick chat. On the chat, give me a yes. Yes, okay. Yes means I'm not gonna judge anybody inside this group, and if anybody here needs some help and I can help with them, I'll gladly welcome them with embracing arms because I know that we win together as a unit. Yes? Oh, guys, here you go. There's some people right here, okay, who are saying yes. Each and every single one of them, you're free to reach out to each and every single one of them when you need help with, I don't know, website development, signing your first client, social media, what other financial advising, stuff like that. There you go. Now everybody probably feels more safe. Okay, maybe I can finally reach out to these people. I've been so shy. I've been scared of what other people think. What, they don't know me. Why would I reach out to them, right? No, you put yourself out there and you start asking people. Okay? Now, cool. The next classes for me, I'm gonna be explaining it to you guys. So what do I actually teach? Cool. First thing that I teach is closing, sales, okay, sales, closing in calls, closing on chat, closing. Here's the thing, guys. You can be the best freelancer in the world, but if you don't know how to sell yourself, if you don't know how to ask for money, you'll never get it. What do you mean? Business is all about making deals. If you don't know how to make deals, if you don't know how to negotiate, if you don't know how to overcome objections, money will not flow to you. Right? Does that make sense? I mean, it's funny because there are people who are probably good at drawing, but they don't charge the same. Right? Thing is, you gotta ask. You gotta turn it to business. You gotta be okay with selling. But the funny thing is, the right way of selling feels so good because you'll make people sell themselves to you instead of the other way around. Wait, what, coach? Yes, that's exactly how I do it with my team. I don't be like, open-minded ka ba? Karinig ka ba ng... I'm kidding. So, thing is, so, bruh, like when you sell people, I'm gonna teach you the art of sales, like how to really charge your worth. But before you charge your worth, you gotta make sure that you're worth a lot of money. Okay? No one will pay you guys $1 million to just make one Instagram post. And a lot of people as well, like, I gotta know my worth, right? Make sure that your worth is exactly how you should charge. Because if you don't know shit and you don't know what's going on when the client starts opening their mouth and you're like Pinocchio, like listening with your nose going up and they're like, yeah, it can help. Not gonna work. Cool, but if you're good with sales, sure, you can make money, but you won't keep the client. Because as soon as you start doing the job, your client will be like, just hired the wrong team member. Does that make sense? You don't want to do that to yourself, right? You don't want to do that to yourself. And I like it, right? So yes, I really believe that, yes, you got to know your worth. And I love that, in this freelance world, you're finally not in the mercy of someone else. Because when you're applying for jobs, guess what? You're like, oh, dear God, please help accept me. Why do you want to become part of the, why do you want to become part of the company? Why do you want this job? In the back of your mind, well, because I need money. But what you really say is like, oh, because I'm a team player and I want to contribute, and I really think that this is a good job for me because I'm gonna do. But in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, because I need money, right? So, the other fact, guys, is it's simple. You are now not in the mercy of someone else once you learn sales, because in sales you will learn how to charge your worth. Okay, that's what I teach people to do. And the thing is, in sales, there's a lot of mindset things that you guys have to unlearn about sales, especially like classic, useless sales strategies that don't work. And I'm gonna teach you strategies in sales that actually work. How do you know if your sales strategy are good or bad? well, see if it's working. If it's working for you, then it's a good sales strategy. If it's not working for you, then it's a bad sales strategy. At the end of the day, the numbers does all the talking. Right? So what's the second thing that I teach? The second thing that I teach is copywriting and marketing. So just a reintroduction. I'm the global copy chief of the agency. So all the copywriting projects. Let me actually even show you. Do you guys want to see? So here's the thing. How do I make money online? Here's the funny thing. How do I make money online, right? My parents still see me as a random weird kid who's writing some words and happens to just make so much money. They don't understand it. And I just want to get you guys to understand it. So here's what I do. Go here. Give me a second, guys. But are we have what's going on? Some people fun. Okay. Addicted. Oh, probably not supposed to share this, but whatever. I'm sure this anyway. Share. Okay. So what I do is I create the messages of my clients. All right. What do you mean messages? Messages in videos, what they'll say in videos, what they'll say on a sales page, what they say on a website, on Instagram, or whatever it is. Does that make sense for you guys? I think that's pretty much it. And because of that, because my words are a little bit more compelling than what they would write, they keep paying me. Because the words that I write gets people to keep pulling out the credit cards on their wallets and then pay for whatever my clients are doing. Or my words actually get people to sign up or to go to a webinar or to go to a Facebook group. And then in the Facebook group, what my clients do is sell them on whatever it is, right? Does that make sense? So that's what I do as a copy. So essentially, it's words that persuade people to do things you want them to do. Does that make sense? Right? So however you want to do that, that works is what we do. So for example, here's a business that we do. I didn't finish the com. So here's a launch that we've actually finished building. It took us around 3 weeks to create this funnel. But you guys know what a funnel is, or you have no idea? Let me know. Anyone here who knows what a funnel is? Coach, can we reach you privately for advice for starting up a business, for continuing business? Sure, you can, but I'm not going to guarantee that I am able to reach out really, respond really fast, because I'm managing 16 clients at the moment and 8 team members, right? While writing copy, while making sure that my team members are, talking to my clients' leads in the correct way. So I'm not going to be sure if I can respond ASAP, but I'll do my best. Okay. So I want to ask you guys, so what I did here is everything that you see here is something that I wrote. Does that make sense? So reintroducing this forgotten power, the 6 pillars of optimal health to guarantee yourself long-lasting health in all areas of life, right? Free registrations to the expo are about to end. Will you make it in time? These are words that probably compel people to click this button right here. Does that make sense? Right? So people pay me for that because it takes so much thought to put in ideas into words in a way that get people to do stuff, right? So for example, here's something that I do as well. Scroll down to see the complete lineup of world-class speakers. On October 3 to 4, 2020, world-class fitness, health, and mindset experts around the world have rearranged their schedules to reveal their secrets to attaining long-term results for good on the most important online fitness expo, right? So over 2 action-packed days, the biggest juggernauts in health, fitness, and mindset are going to be sharing the secrets they're using right now to stay in incredible shape, completely stress-free, and filled with boundless energy, focus focus, boundless energy and focus day by day, week by week, year by year. Tanya Poppet will be giving a masterclass on the biggest mistakes that prevent even the most die-hard athletes from keeping the results they've achieved. Plus, to share how you can fix these mistakes in under a week. Scott Henderson, former editor and content director of Men's Health Australia, will be handing over the follow-along blueprint behind attaining an unstoppable mindset only the most successful people in the world have. Just get your hands on his mindset blueprints, implement them, and watch your consistency and confidence skyrocket, whatever it is, right? So I write messages into words and I also write scripts for people that they will be talking about on videos. Does that make sense for people? Is people following me? So that's what I do as a copywriter. Quick question. Can you guys hear the sound? Right? So here's the thing. The funny thing about this is I directed everything in this video, including the video editor. So I kind of like got him of like what feels of the soundtracks to do, what kind of, aesthetic to even plug in, and, what kind of, B-rolls to plug in, but all of the technical software for the team. But, here's what here's what happened. Can you guys hear this? Can you guys hear this? Okay, cool.
Doesn't it sound fishy to you? It's already the year 2020. Decades have passed and people have tried almost everything they could think of to stay healthy, live longer, and look really good naked. We've tried diet plans, different workout routines, quick fix supplements promising us the world, even spent thousands of our hard-earned dollars on fitness trainers that don't really give us the results we're after. But even with all of that, the painful truth still remains the same. To so many people, achieving long-lasting results in health and fitness has been a mystery. Even today, every time we try and do something, as if an invisible force is always trying to derail us from staying consistent to what we promised ourselves in the beginning.
But what if I told you that things don't have to be this way anymore? Because the truth is, it's not just about the perfect workout routine or the best diet plan. In fact, your workout routine and diet plan is really only a small part of the whole story. So what about the bigger picture? Well, it's actually right in front of you, but unfortunately, we've been conditioned to overlook it by way too much BS from the media, big pharma, and nutrition industries. What if you found a framework that allows you to take control of your confidence, energy, health, and happiness for good? Well, guess what? A framework like that exists, and it always has, but we've forgotten about it.
Guys, what if we told you that there is a sustainable way that you can take control of your health, your fitness, your stress, your weight loss problems for life? None of these 4-week or 6-week challenges to worry about. Within our 6 pillars, we're going to bring in world-class level athletes, coaches, and speakers to take you through a game plan to make that reality for you.
These 6 pillars have never before been revealed in the fitness space, so don't miss this. Make sure you tune in to the Addicted to Fitness online expo. This is where it all goes down. So we're going to learn how to implement the 6 pillars into your life so you can get more out of life. Hey, it's Joel Brown, the founder of AddictedToSuccess.com, the #1 motivation website in the world. If you haven't heard of Addicted to Success, we've reached over 320 million website views online with over 4 million podcast plays and downloads. But that's neither here nor there. Today, we have an opportunity for you to dive in deep with us on the Addicted to Fitness online expo. This is where you get to tap into some incredible minds that are going to teach you how to really expand with your mindset around fitness, but also your physical, your soul, your spiritual, everything on every level to really become more within the space of fitness.
Our first pillar, guys, active living. We're not talking about running a 4-minute mile or spending 4 hours in the gym, throwing weights around, time that we don't need to spend outside of our current lifestyle. What we are talking about is moving in a way that you love every day, that fits into that hectic life, and enjoy it.
Pillar number 2, guys, is going to be sleep. And if you are just getting through your day, surviving rather than thriving, this is the one that we're going to dig nice and deep into. Think about sleep like recharging the batteries, and we're going to check out exactly how that's going to play out within this pillar.
Third element that we are going to teach you all about is community. When you have a community, it means that you are linked with and in synchronicity with a group of incredible, like-minded people that are holding you accountable to your highest of dreams.
Pillar 4, guys, stress management. Imagine how great it would feel to live a stress-free life. We're quite often told about stress, but with this pillar, we'll teach you how to deal with that stress.
Pillar number 5, healthy eating. There's plenty of conflicting information out there, which makes it super hard to know who to listen to, which direction to turn. So within this pillar, we're going to start dispelling some of the myths and set you up for a nice, sustainable way of eating to keep you feeling energetic and healthy for life.
I have interviewed hundreds of successful people all over the world, and one of the major key things that I notice is that they are all aligned with their values. The question I have for you is, are you in alignment with your values and your vision for the future? We are going to teach you how to really tap into the most highest aligned vision for you so that you can really smash your fitness goals and dreams.
With the craziness of 2020 leading to boredom and a lack of motivation for many of us, Andy and I have put together a team of world-class speakers, athletes and coaches to help remind us of the forgotten 6 pillars of your health.
And we've teamed up with Joel Brown from the world's #1 motivational website, Addicted to Success, to run this free global online expo. We're calling it Addicted to Fitness. We hope you guys can join us for this free expo. Jump on the link and I'll see you there.
Join us at Addicted to Fitness Online Expo.
Woo! Addicted to Fitness! Join us at Addicted to Fitness Online Expo.
Yeah, so I mean, where was that? Cool. Sorry, trying to kind of explain again. Right, so coach, you make a script. Yep, I made the script. So essentially from idea generation, from the birth of the idea, where there are 6 pillars of health, and that's why exactly people can, live the, keep the results that they want in fat, in fitness, and in health, and in mindset as well, is because they're either missing one or all of the pillars. From turning them into scripts, from getting the scripts done into where you select, like you get people to talk about things and turning that into words. That's what copywriting is, right? So you're getting people to persuade, whether it's to sign up or to pay for stuff. That's copywriting, and that's the second thing that I'll teach people. The third thing is marketing. Now, quick question. I'm gonna wrap up. That quick question a lot of people ask, like, Coach, what's the difference between copywriting and marketing? Marketing is the planning out of the ideas beyond the copywriting of the words. So that's how you plan where people will go from one place to the next in the online space. Does that make sense? So marketing is like how you want to drive people from different places on the internet, from Facebook to Instagram, then maybe to a landing page, or maybe to an online website, or maybe to a Facebook group. That's marketing. Does that make sense? Or how you reach more people and what kind of people you want to reach. That's marketing. Copywriting is just involving the words that you write, right? So that's what I'm gonna show people to do, especially. You just really can't become a good copywriter if you're just a copywriter. You have to become a good marketer who specializes in copywriting. See, very big difference. Now, I think I'm not gonna continue for really too long here, simply because I think you guys have pretty much so much more than you need to start crushing it with your other classes as well in QuickBro. Before I stop, I'm gonna open the panel for maybe a max of 5 minutes of questions that you guys actually have, because I know that so many people here are not on the OBM, and I only do classes for OBM. I was just asked that, okay, Clint, hey, you can do a class right now for everyone. So cool. Now, do you guys have any questions regarding anything that we've discussed? Maybe it's things about Ray and I, or, you know, anything at all. Is there any questions that you guys have? Anything that you want to get help with or support with or feel uncertain about, or things that you need to get clear on, or questions that you actually have, or things that you still haven't figured out, maybe things that you don't know? Okay, so I have a question here. How long did you sharpen that saw before you landed that CEO post? I don't know what you mean by CEO post, but sharpen the saw before you landed that CEO post. I'm not a CEO. I'm not really CEO, but I know, how do I describe it? I'm not a CEO, but I'm basically the global copy chief of the agency. I wouldn't say it as a CEO, but you know, the fact that I still lead teams, how long? A year, more than a year. It would probably take 5 if I was with the wrong people. Huh? Right? Because I was with the right people, working with Ray every single day and seeing how hard he worked for his dreams. And, you know, I just probably took, it took me like 2 years or something, less than 2 years. Coach, do we have an Adobe Premiere Pro and Quick Pro? I have no idea. I'm only concerned within my classes of copywriting, marketing, and sales. I don't know the other things about the other coaches. So by any means, if you ask me about anything Quick Pro related, I don't know. So all that I know, I don't even know how much you guys pay for Quick Pro or how you even got into Quick Pro. All that I know is I'm just going to hop on this Zoom calls with you guys and just give as much value as I can. That's pretty much it. In terms of marketing, sales, copywriting, how to sign your clients. That's pretty much it. So yeah. Would you recommend getting a beginner to go? Would you recommend getting a beginner to go to a freelancing field that he or she has experience on, or to a field that he or she is passionate about but doesn't have an experience yet? If you're gonna go with experience, how do you make the transition? That's an interesting question, right? So there's two things here. So what Eliane is asking is that there's probably a profitable niche. So here's my advice. Go where the money is. In the beginning stages of your freelancing phase, I'm sorry, you're probably going to be, I mean, that's the reality of the fact. I mean, I can sugarcoat like, oh, do your, what you're passionate about. Sure, you can do that after, but I think you got some bills to pay or you got some bills to pay, some debts to cover, and some, things to do. I would recommend that go where the money is. So where's the money is? So how do I know where's the money? The money is where people are spending the most money on. For example, health, fitness programs, online coaching, business opportunities, stuff like that. Those are what the best niches are. And I would go there. And then once you finally make more money, then you can finally do the things that you love, right? Instead of like suffering, doing the things that you like really love to do right now and you're passionate about, while sacrificing not making any money at all, even though you're probably not going to be in a good shape to not do that. But I would be strategic of it. I'd be practical and just straightforward. At the beginning, as a beginner, I would start doing the things that, and it's funny as well because you'll start to love the things that you probably didn't expect, right? If that happens, great. If you don't, then just start transitioning to the things you don't like after you finally, had made, are comfortable with yourself financially, is what I would do. Coach, you just get inspired. How much did you made in dollars? So, okay. So Genevieve Lildo asked, Coach, just to get inspired. So Genevieve has a very funny inspiration. It's okay. She wants to make, I think she wants to know how much money I make. So essentially it's like more a contract. So we're expecting this to create, I think might be $70,000 to $80,000. So what's 7.5% of that? No, 1%. Give me a second. I'm gonna calculate a little bit. $70,000 times 0.05. So $3,500 upfront. It's around 175,000. around that 175, 160,000, somewhere around those lines. Could be more, could be less, depending on like how, you know, expectations come in. But yeah, that's how much you can charge. There's also one client who paid $5,000 for a sales page, but you know, that's entirely funnel. It's not a sales tool, it's actually a funnel. But yeah, those are like what's possible for. I think most of the money really comes in marketing and sales and copywriting, simply because they're they're directly ROI related. So that means it's the way you close deals is ROI related right off the bat. So it's not about just how much time, you know, you spend, but you know how much money your copy brings in. Coach, will the clients provide the script of the sales funnel if you're a web developer? I would say so. I think the web developing side of things, I'm not really a web developer, but I would think that more of what you do is in the UI or user interface, and probably the aesthetics of the page, but not necessarily, and you know, the structure of the page, not necessarily like the copy, because that is an entirely different service. So if your client is like looking for copy, or words, that's an entirely different service that you can charge for separately. Although, if, as a beginner, you can start doing that for your client for free, so if your client loves you. So I wish you could teach us more in other time. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. Or girl or woman, I don't know. So, do you consider SEO when doing copywriting? I would, depending on like the project, especially if it's a website, I consider SEO right off the bat. Really SEO. Marian, SEO daw po. I don't know if that's a comment or a question. If we are in to online business coach, do you recommend us to learn and really master copywriting like you do? I would really kind of recommend it, because like copy is the heartbeat of sales. That's pretty much it. If you suck at copy, you won't make any money online, because it's gonna bore people out of their minds if you have really bad copy. And so when people are bored, that's the number one thing in marketing. They'll not read your copy. They'll not want to watch your content or watch your videos, or even bother to even, you know, spend their time on you, if that makes sense. I would recommend it above everything else. It's, you know, that's for me. What is the most effective copywriting style you use, Coach? I can tell that the questions that you ask are pretty much from someone who has never gotten into copywriting, simply because, you know, I would really call it like copywriting styles. I would call it copywriting processes. So what you're seeing in the video and, you know, the landing page is the final product, but there is a step-by-step and process that you can follow to create something like that from absolutely scratch. And it's about sticking to that process and following the process diligently is what I would do. So yeah, but if in terms of style, most of the copywriting style that I have is more an emotionally gripping copy. So I would get people to visualize the life that they will be expecting to live after they take on the offer. For example, imagine like a few months from now, you wake up and you go to the bathroom and you look yourself at the mirror, and then what you see isn't the body that you see right now, but it's a body that's completely lean, attractive, full with confidence, vibrant, you know, stuff like that. That's how I write copy. It's, you know, stuff like that. You know, okay. So how to know the niche of the client to be? Is it posted to in their hiring post, Coach? Okay. So how to know the niche of the client to be? I think what you're trying to tell me is like how to know the niche of your future clients, I think is what you're asking. If you have already a client in mind, it would just be depending on what they do. That's their niche. So if they're a fitness coach, then their niche is a fitness coach, you know, if that's pretty much straightforward. I would definitely choose a niche first before I even start to look for clients, you know, if that makes sense. Not the other way around. Not just trying to find different clients and like figuring out the niche after. So Imelda said lol. Okay, so Coach, do you already send the script that you promised us last meeting? I'm not sure what you mean by the script that I promised you last meeting. I forget a lot of things. So you gotta kind of remind me on that. Thanks. Wow, you're amazing, Coach. Thank you. If we are in online coach, do you recommend us to learn a copy? Yep, I do. will you teach the do's and don'ts of copywriting? More than that. I teach so much. I want to teach so much more than that. Yours, thank you. Minimum charge for copywriting a script. It depends on. So Mary Ann asked, minimum charge for copywriting a script. That's not the right grammar to use. Instead, I know you're a beginner, but here's how I would, do it. But like minimum, how much would I charge for writing copy for a script? So you don't say writing copywriting for a script. You say writing copy for a script, if that makes sense. But minimum charge depends on where you're at. The first project that I actually charged for wasn't really much. I charged $500 for a full scale landing page. So that's 25,000 pesos and took me 3 days, 5 days to complete. So it's nothing really super crazy yet, but for me that was really big at that time because I was still 18 years old. And I got someone to pay me from the other side of the world. That was like, whoa, this really works. So in my mind, when that happened, I was like, if I can make more of this happen, then I'll be rich, So, okay. So will you have another class for OBM this Tuesday, Coach? Not Tuesday, Wednesday 9:30. Yes. Eunice was like, but last minute. Coach, do you have an ebook or book of 7-figure marketing copy? If yes, can I have one? Ooh, I was actually working on a book, but I didn't end up finishing it. Yeah. So, Coach, did you focus on getting your clients at Facebook group first or Instagram at the same time? Good question. I focused on getting people at Instagram. So the funny thing was I was sending video DMs. So I recorded selfie videos and I sent them to those people. So I was like this, right? So I was like, hey, Mr. Prospect. So my name is Listoso, and I just realized that I wrote you 3 email samples. And if you want to see them and you want to send them over, hit me up with and then I'll send you them. Or I'll send them to you right away. So that's what I was doing, people. I was doing that 80 times every day. So the hustle was real, guys. Coach, did you focus on getting your clients? Coach, what do you recommend us to do, like assignment for us to enhance and learn fast in copywriting? Read copy. So read copy. So, the best way to learn a language is to start speaking it or listening to people speak it. But you got to have a translator for it. I do teach that in my copywriting intensive program. But really just read copy and, read ads. Those Facebook ads you skip, start reading them. Start seeing what other people are doing. What's the best way to learn how to write copy? See how others successful are doing it and then just pretty much do that. Of course, there's so much more to it than that, but the first thing that you have to do is immerse yourself in the world of marketing. So looking at ads, don't skip ads, save the ads, watch them again, see what they're writing on the script, click the ads and then see what the landing page is like and the sales page is like and what the video is like and seeing like what's going on, what happens after this happens and this and this. That's what I would recommend you start doing because you'll then have a feel of like what good copy is like based on the emotions that you feel after reading their copy. Does that make sense? That's the first thing that I would do. For my copywriters, even today, 70% of the time that we spend is on reading copy and looking at the actual copy. 30% of that is spent on writing. Okay, so Coach, what happened to Forbes? Good question. It's not published. So my article that I wrote for Forbes has been published by my client. Thanks, Coach. Do you recommend the Sell Like Crazy book by Sabri Subri? Funny as well because Sabri Subi, we hopped on a Zoom call with him. Pretty crazy dude. So for those who don't know who Sabri Subi is, he's made his clients 1.33. By that time it was in the Zoom call. He's made his clients $1.33 billion. Not million, but B with the big B. So he made his clients $1.33 billion, guys, in his marketing agency. And he is funny as well, because I'm probably going to show you right here. This is going to be a little bonus for the people who stayed up with me a little bit because I incentivize people who sleep late with me. But here, guys, if you can actually see courses, where's the online summit? Okay, So this is like one event that we actually, hosted in the past before. And if you can actually see right here, Sabri Subi. Where is Sabri? Right. So Sabri, this is like a Zoom call that we had with Sabri, especially with my client as well. This guy, King Kong. This guy is the owner of King Kong Agency and the number one and the fastest growing, company in like marketing agency in Australia. If you think about that, see.
Guys, make sure you got your pad and your pen, all right? Sabri's going to be dropping bombs.
You might be a wellness coach. You type in whatever it is around your market, and you're going to start to see all these questions popping up. And that's and for me, it was the latter.
Okay, that's done. That's pretty. Oops, that's pretty much it. Those are things. Yeah. So I'm flaring. How about downlog? I don't know. He's pretty good. Okay, so last 3 questions. Coach, do you have a plan to have training for copywriting, marketing, and sales outside Quick Pro? Yes, I do. I don't know, Imelda, I'm quite curious. Imelda, do you want to lead the group? Cool. So anyone who wants copywriting actual mentorship, I'm planning to do that in a group-based coaching, probably 7 to 10 people who just want to focus on actual high-level copywriting. Simply because here's the agenda of it. I want to build a copywriting team in the Philippines, in-house, and I'm looking to train people on copy. But I can't do it on one-on-one because it can take too much of my time. But I also don't want to make it too big because I have to take a look at each of the copy that you guys produce while passing down to you almost 200,000 pesos or even 3,000 pesos worth of training that I've gone through with my mentors. Yeah, if that's something you're interested in, just hit Imelda. She's actually, so guys, also, you guys probably don't know it, but Imelda is already part of the team of the agency. And the only reason why she was able to get into the agency was because she was following up all the freaking time. She's like, Coach Clint, Coach Clint, and yeah, so I was just like very persistent. I like it. Brought her in, and yeah. So that's what happened with her. So essentially what I'm trying to do is build a copywriting team in the Philippines. And since the agency is scaling so many clients, what's going on is I need help with the copy because I'm now coming to a point where I can't handle all the projects on my own. So I need a team to help me as well. Of course, you guys will start making money as well, making that cha-ching, writing words. And how much money will you be making in the agency if you're a copywriter? For emails, you're probably going to make 2,000 pesos per email. It takes you 15 to 30 minutes to write if you're good at it. Also, if I'm going to outsource a landing page, minimum 50,000 pesos or $1,000 per landing page, probably could take you a week to finish. And social media captions as well. It's an opportunity that you can start working for with the agency. So you see how on Instagram there's captions, like those little words under the posts, right? So you can write those as well on a daily basis. I'll train you how to do that. That's an opportunity for you to start making at least 25,000 per month per client. So if you can write 2 captions per day, imagine how much time you have. That's already $50,000 per month. For clients, it's 100,000 pesos per month, which is $2,000. So those are the things that might happen. Yeah, so for those who want that, you can like hit Imelda up and we'll see where it goes. Once we hit like 7 people or 8 people, we can immediately start. That's another thing. So let's see if we have any questions. I am interested, Po. I love copywriting. This is my first time to do this in this way. Cool. Probably can help you as well. Just hit Imelda up and we'll see if you're a good fit. Is it going to be a full-time work coach for the copywriting mentorship? I don't know what you mean if it's a full-time work. It's weird because you're asking work and then mentorship. It's very different. So mentorship is not work. Mentorship is just mentorship. And once you get to the skill level that I need you to be, then I'll give you a start and start giving you projects, if that makes sense. Please hit me up at Imelda. Yeah, sure, hit Imelda up. Yoon, I love to join, coach. I'm willing to learn. It will be my first time. Sure. How to join team, coach. Great experience. Love it, miss. By the way, right now, I'm not hiring at the moment. Probably in the next 2 weeks, I need to train Imelda and Mike and Jet first, real good, and then so that you'll feel like home, because you're gonna be your quick pro turned agency, team members. And yeah, by the way, guys, you'll start to realize in the agency we're very informal, just like stuff like that. We just have an amazing time working as well. But for those people who don't have any questions anymore, okay, so I have the last question. The client getting cheat sheet. Thanks, Jet, for reminding me. I will send that. I'll get Ray to send that to me. Please remind me of that on Instagram. I know, Jet, you know me on Instagram. Just remind me on Instagram. How do you determine if you are not asking or charging too much? I mean, what it will. All right. So this is gonna be the last questions, guys. So just so you know, it's gonna be the last question before you go to sleep really well, because today's Monday. I don't know if you guys have work, but today's Monday. So I want you guys to be healthy, right? Because I already told you guys that one of the areas of life is health, and I'm already breaking that law. So I'm gonna answer this last question, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna go sleep really well. Yeah. So how do you determine if you are not asking? I mean, like for you guys, but for me and my team, we're probably gonna spend 30 more minutes after a meeting, a little bit, meeting and before we sleep. But anyway, how do you determine if you are not asking or charging too much? I mean, what if you already have an experience on the field, like graphic artist, but not in online, and technically you are a newbie in an online job, and you think your rate should be $5 per hour? So when you check on online, and newbie is around $3 only per hour. Should you follow the trend, or should you stick with what you think your rate is? Ladies and gentlemen, here's a very amazing question. Can you guys read the question? Right? Can you guys read the question? How much? So I don't know how to pronounce her name. If it's Zarina or Karina, or if it's silent C or Z, or I don't know. But like, I don't know what's your name. But Karina Rivera, probably silent Z. How do you determine if you are not asking for too much? Right? How do you determine if you're not asking for too much? And just like asking about, so there are people, do you want to charge $5 to $7? But in the beginner, it's charged $2 to $3 per hour. The thing is, first problem she has to solve is, number one, she cannot be a newbie, right? Charge your worth, increase your internal worth first. Be good at what you do, right? Once you be good at what you do, then you can implement the sales system that I will be teaching you in my next few classes. So you don't have to be charging, like beginners, because you're not a beginner anymore, because you can really serve clients at the quality of a world-class expert, right? So even with my team, Imelda and Mike, and and Jet has actually gone through this as well. You are not working for your clients; you're working with the clients, because you lead the clients. You don't become your clients' bitches, right? No, you guys are strong. You're strong men and women, and you're capable, and you guys are experts. You lead the clients; they'll feel safe. Cool. So, oh my God. Sorry about that. But okay, a second. Okay. So guys, I hope you guys are I'm sleepy. Actually, I'm very sleepy. I didn't have any sleep, but guys, I hope you guys had an amazing day. I hope this 3 hours of the time that we spent together was amazing for each and every one of you guys. I'm so proud of each and every single one of you that you finally took action on yourself. You're finally showing up. You're finally trying to make money in the online space, because unlike how people kind of think, the online space is never going anywhere. It's not just magically crash. Okay, unless all of the satellites in the world just magically crash. You guys are amazing. Very interactive class. You will build your confidence here. Just keep stepping up, keep showing up for yourself. Make sure that you commit to taking action, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Take advice from the right people. Get clear in your life, on your blueprint. Keep following it and keep building it step by step, day by day. And I wish you guys an amazing week, because it's Monday. We love Mondays. We don't hate them. We love them. Okay? Okay, guys. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this.